Dissolve your body today. There's a sun in the sky, put in the atmosphere. Throw yourself in the sea. There's nothing solid down here. Mind, body, life, this ordinary night, this ordinary day, that's twisted out of shade. The night is disintegrate. The water runs through the ground. The ocean blends with the air. Throw yourself in the fire. There's nothing solid down here. Mind, body, life, sound. Mind, body, life, sound. It's over today. The time is already gone. Throw your mind in the sea. Eternity doesn't last very long. There's some people on earth live in separate minds. Dissolve your body today. There is no in or outside. Mind, body, life, sound. Mind, body, life, sound. Mind, body,
Am I okay? Is the audio okay? Daggers, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm more worried about me.
No, actually things sound okay. Actually, sort of. Maybe the chat can give us some feedback. We be back. I be back. What's going on, guys? Western Decline should learn to day trade. Yeah, he should. Maybe. I don't know. You'd think he's a smart guy. You'd think he could find something where he could capitalize on. I would hope. But, you know, we live in dark days.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to tell people to invest in anymore. I used to have ideas, but I stopped paying attention.
I'm not much of an investor type guy. A buddy of mine was just like copying or following like politicians. I think like who was it? The what's her name out of California? The old bat. Pelosi. Yeah, following Pelosi's like portfolio. I don't know how I'm just not up on that stuff, but he was doing good.
That's all right. You just need to be careful because it's absolutely planned for them to be the first ones in, them and the people bribing them. And then the rest of you, I mean, the risk is all yours. You're the ones that are going to get dumped, but yeah, you could make some money. Just
It's
be
like a
aware.
casino. It's like a casino. You can get burned real bad. I actually knew a couple day traders at my old work, my old job, and he just did it for a hobby. He enjoyed it. You ever done any stock investments?
I was trading cryptocurrency, and then the exchanges froze my wallet so they could dump the coins I was making money on. So then I was like, yeah, fuck that.
Scotty Boom's in the chat. Scotty Boom, I can't follow your stuff. I'm not going to go to Rumble or Kick. Like, you need to upload. I don't know. I'm not doing. I can't do the other platforms. I just don't care about the other websites. You spend a lot of time on Rumble or Kick, Daggers? Do you listen to a lot of content?
No, I just use it to archive stuff. That's it.
Yeah, Scotty Boom's on YouTube, but I haven't really. He uploads and he does like an upload and then it's like, oh, go watch it over here. And it's like, well, I ain't doing that. Maybe he did upload one. I don't know. Sometimes the whole like "Mo women suck" content gets like boring. How do you feel about that, Daggers?
Yeah, like we kind of broke that ground a while ago. We know how things are gynocentric, but you eventually kind of move past that. Like, there's things about women that suck in particular, but men also, like, people in general suck. So it's just not really. I don't know what he does. I don't want to insult him. I don't know how in depth he goes. Maybe he's breaking new ground to some people. Maybe it's novel to some people.
It's like
good
purple,
way.
it's like purple pill content or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like he's got half, one toe in the black pill space and like one toe in the red pill space.
He's saying you're misrepresenting him. I don't know much about this. I'll be honest. I don't really know who Scotty Boom is. I only saw one post where he said he got a strike for saying the Z word in reference to soldiers. And that I remember that because then I started warning people. It's like there's nothing, there's no funny slurs I can really say, but I just started warning people not to say that because that's a new precedent.
I like Scotty Boom. I don't know. He's not bad. Like, people in the black pill kind of like, the Discord servers, they hate on him a lot because he's not at their level yet or something. It's kind of cringe.
I can't pin down what he is. This is all like secondhand because I just don't know anything about him. I don't know what to make of this.
Hey, I was gonna ask. Well, there's this whole. You heard about the chick who killed her kids? You heard about that?
Yeah, I heard that women were kind of in solidarity with her, but they shat on the one woman who apparently deserved whatever happened to her for saying a slur to black people. That's what.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
She killed her own children, 3 of them. That's kind of wild, right?
Yeah, I don't like it. It happens a lot because around here, about 5 miles away from me, a guy murdered his whole entire family. Like, shit happens. Is there a reason it got really popular, or was it just
Who got popular?
why this woman? Why is this case so popular that she killed her 3 kids?
Oh, you think it's normal? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that happens every day. I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I'm not saying it happens. It is like normies are fucked up, and sometimes that does happen. it's not as simple as retards will tell you, where it's, oh, just have kids and enjoy your life working 100 hours a week. I mean, not really. There's a reason why the dad here ran around shooting all his entire family, hunting them like animals. Like, there's things can get that bad. Like, it's,
you know what bothers me about this stuff? Like the woman who killed her 3 children, allegedly, or strangled them while the husband was away or whatever. Then you got other cases like Chris Watts. Chris Watts killed his own kids. Well, that wrestler, Benoit. Yeah, Benoit killed his family. I just don't really. I think it's kind of cringe. Maybe I'm. This might sound cringe. I just don't do the whole like moralizing and like good and bad. Like anyone who's been in like a serious relationship, like, I mean, you've heard like the Mel Gibson recordings. Have you ever listened to those?
Where he was talking about Jews and stuff?
No, when he was fighting with his Russian second wife or whatever.
No.
Well, whatever. The point is that relationships can be extremely volatile, and you think you're like a good boy and that you would never do such a thing. I would never beat my wife or girlfriend. I would never kill my own kids. Like, you ain't living their life. Like, things are very volatile in relationships. Like, anything goes, anything can happen. So just to like demonize either the women or the men on either side of it, the Chris Watts types or the this female that's being charged with the 3 murders. I don't know, man. Relationships are so volatile, and like, I remember I thought the same way. Like, I thought, I'm never gonna like be in a domestic dispute. That's insane, right? Like, how do you go to jail like messing around with some broad? Like, and it almost happened to me, Daggers. I had this girl I was sleeping with at my work, and she was at my house, and she started drinking, and next thing I know, the cops were almost, I mean, it was bad, dude. Like, she was flipping the fuck out, throwing shit, like threw a lamp at me. Like, I thought the cops were coming. She called her own mother. She didn't call the cops. She called her mom. And then she's fucking flipping out. I thought her mom might call the cops, and I was worried, like, fuck. And I was able to like kind of extinguish the situation, or, take it down a notch and like get her to calm down. And as soon as that night was over, like, I never let her over ever again. Like, never let her at my house ever again. Cause I ain't getting no trumped up, you know what I mean? Get charged with some bullshit. And then you can't even own a gun. And not that I care about the gun thing, but like, if you get a domestic charge, you're not allowed to even own a gun anymore. Like, that's brutal. Like, it's such bullshit.
Yeah, my dad would get chased by a knife by this one woman, and the cops would take her side over his. Like, it's, I've seen almost nothing but bad. And what you were saying earlier, yeah, people are really ignorant, inconsiderate, insensitive to why people go crazy, why somebody would like shoot their whole family, drown their kids in a bathtub. The universe is rational. You can't just declare things invalid because it runs contrary to your paradigm. Like, everything's happening for a reason, not to justify these things, but like, these people can't even comprehend why somebody would kill themselves, or they probably can, but they're lying to themselves. They have to convince themselves to others that they have no such thoughts. They're totally secure and everything's fine. They love life. They're trying to like program the lie into themselves. So they're lying to us and themselves. It's like, that's what you should be open to. You should be open to why these things actually happen. It's happening for a reason. It's not like, oh, just get a job, have kids, and then, you're just happy and life's over. No, it's not. Evidently, it's not how it works. I don't give a shit about owning guns either. I mean, I guess they're nice to have, but
honestly, I don't want to shoot anybody. I want to beat the hell out of. If I'm going to kill someone, I want to just do it with my bare hands, headbutt style. I mean, just literally grab them by the shoulders and slam my head into their face. I don't want to shoot anybody. I want to just literally murder them with my bare hands if it ever happened. Like shooting a gun's like a fucking gay move. Just beat the hell, just bloody them up, bust them up with your own bare hands. Like I hate the Second Amendment is so gay. I fucking all these patriot people and the American tards. Like, oh my god, I fucking don't care about the Second Amendment at all. It's such a fucking gay thing to care about. I'm sorry. Like, I know people are gonna fucking push back at me if they listen to this stream. The Second Amendment people are they like the don't tread on me people. They're so gay.
Yeah, like you know, I have guns, and if you go to my channel, you can see me shooting them and my me reading my book. But yeah, I wouldn't care about them. It's really pedantic. It's like it's people that have been guns have been commodified along with masculinity. Where if you just consume this product, you will be masculine, secure within yourself. Like again, we could overthrow the government whenever we want. We don't, so we're not going to do anything. It's just, you know, it's good to have the option that we would never use.
You ever shot guns, Daggers?
Yeah, as I said, I go to my channel. I'm shooting guns on there.
Sorry, I was on my phone. I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
No, I zone out too. I zone out listening to people sometimes. I try to act like I was listening.
Things going on. I got all these other apps.
No, so do I. It's like sometimes Dismal will be talking to me. I'll be like, "Oh shit, I wasn't listening for 10 seconds."
But yeah, I mean, I like guns. Who doesn't like guns? Like I always tell people, my dad was a Union Democrat, but he fucking loved firearms. He liked fast boats and big trucks. Like who doesn't like that shit? I've already said this before on streams in the past, but I mean, come on, like, duh, guns are cool, duh.
Guns are cool, but I mean, they're not worth the money. I would be willing to sacrifice them for other things. If we lived, you wouldn't really need guns if you lived in a high trust society. Although, I mean, it wouldn't matter either way if people had guns or not. People would be allowed to drink and drive in a homogenous high trust society.
So I got you on this, I got you on the stream tonight, and I hate to do this, but let's do like the cringe talk here. Like, let's talk about Donald Trump for just a minute, okay? Is that all right with you?
I talk about Trump all the time.
Well, I know it's kind of gay or whatever. Politics is fucking fake or whatever, but I just want to just kind of get this out there because I just feel like this is being overlooked or not talked about enough. Donald Trump is the worst president in American history. And it's like no one's talking about it. Like people are coping or they're deflecting. This is the worst presidency ever in the history of America. It's the biggest bait and switch, like rug pull of all time. And people still love Donald Trump. I was golfing the other day, Daggers. My buddy still wears a MAGA hat. He still wears it like all the time.
Yeah, 30% of Americans support anything Trump does. It doesn't matter what he does. He literally said, like, your gas prices being higher is worth Iran not having nukes, and I'm not sorry. And people clapped.
No, Gen X and boomers think that's like absolutely accurate and like the best take ever. Like, yes, Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. Like, they're not real, guys. There's no nukes. Nobody has nukes. Nukes are fake. Maybe Daggers, you might disagree, but nukes are not real.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree. I'm not going to push back. I don't really care because practically speaking, we come to the same conclusion. Like, who gives a shit about Iran? Like, if nukes are real, I hope Iran has them because North Korea can't be invaded anymore, and Trump's sucking Kim Jong-un's dick now, and North Korea is going to out-survive South Korea.
Wolf slumbers, really? That's a weak ass question, bro. Like they got video of it. Like you're talking about, that incident in Japan or whatever. That they have video of it. How could it be a nuke if there's footage? There wouldn't be footage if it was a nuke. I hate to do the whole like nukes aren't real. I'm sorry. I should.
I don't care.
Or like retarded, but
I'm open to the idea because it's like it's an interesting question. Like, how do you know if nukes are even real? Because there's no way to prove it, and it seems kind of insane.
I just don't believe in nuclear warheads. I don't believe the president has like special codes when he gets inaugurated and like he gets into the when each president like changes every 4 years or 8 years, and then now they have like their finger on the button. I don't believe that at all. That's fake.
Yeah, I mean, it very well could be. Like, it could just be old-fashioned military deterrence that prevents, and economic interdependency that prevents people from doing massive wars with each other. Like, that could be the real reason.
No, I believe in like destruction, like weapons of destruction. Like we could probably fuck up, some other country or burn, shoot them up, blow them up, throw missiles at their, their land and their infrastructure. I just don't think that you can blow up the world with like a bomb. Like that's not real. But Daggers, I don't want to obsess about this. I'm just saying like it's like really corny. I feel bad because like my buddy, I have a friend of mine. He's probably in his early 60s. Good guy, Swedish American, Scandinavian dude. God, I go golfing with him all the time. Really cool guy, but he really thinks that Trump is like a savior of America and he's protecting us from Iran and that Iran might destroy us all. Like he really believes that, Mr. Daggers.
Oh yeah. No, people need to come around to my way of thinking. I know it sounds edgy and like elitist and stuff to call people cattle, but I mean, get real. It's like if you can't acknowledge that people are cattle, you're inexperienced. People literally get emotionally attached and feel good from watching commercials. Like they get this feeling like I just like listening to commercials because these people gave me so much and I like giving back to them by watching their ads, and they make me feel good and they make me feel like there's hope and things are going to get better. And that's millions upon millions of people. You just gotta. The people are cattle. Egalitarianism is a meme. Democracy is a meme. There was never democracy. It was always controlled by elites. Now it's controlled by the Israeli American tech cartel that pumps out fucking AI generated slop that literally people believe. Because again, Thomas Massey lost his election that way.
Daggers, do you like it's cringe, guys? Like the democracy thing, that everything, how like 50+% want something, and that's what then you're going to get it, right? That's democracy, right?
Whoever engineered those people to want that thing, because
but over half the public would reject gay marriage, for example. If we took a vote, everyone on their smartphone, they can vote anonymous vote or what, they can vote. Nobody knows what they're voting. And the public, everybody puts in their vote, then gay marriage is banned tomorrow. Every topic in politics would be would shift right wing. And that's not even because of like that we're radically, that there's like these, overall majority, right wing gun toting nuts out there. It's just average Mexican or white people or Italian, whatever. They're going to vote against gay marriage, but we have gay marriage. Like, so democracy's so fucking fake too. I mean, if we did a vote to shut down the border and kick out illegal immigrants, that would happen tomorrow. That would be the consensus. Like, we literally live under like total tyranny. The public gets nothing they want. We do not live in democracy. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, like I want to use the example that It's not even as simple as if you actually allowed democracy, then the people would vote for what's right. That's no. The problem with democracy is the average person is too stupid. Like, you should not have the average moron having the final say on how the entire world operates, which is what you're doing with running a state. You're dealing with all fields of the world, philosophy to physics, ecology. You can't. Why would Joe the plumber or Tyler the box stacker know what's best in these regards?
When you say this, Daggers, I want to push back a little. Like, who the fuck are you? You say this person, that person, they're dumb, idiot. No, why are you so special? And that's not a personal attack. This is just me, asking the question.
Sure, no, I accept it.
Why are you fucking special? You work at a box factory. You quit your job. You sit at home all day.
Well, it's very simple. Like, it's just the average person working actually makes you stupider. You don't have time to research. You don't have time to think. The less contradiction in your life, the less things you have to resolve. There's less things to learn. So if you're on like the assembly line, the conveyor belt of life, and you just go to your job, like, these people aren't doing anything substantial. You have to really, the world should honestly fall, not just, people say technocrats, like they say that engineers and doctors should decide things. I don't think so. It should be, philosopher kings, whatever, the mage council, the whatever. And the reason that these people should run things is because they're not just philosophers. You also have to be a scientist to really be a philosopher. You have to know the world to know yourself. You have to study neuropathology. You have to study the makeup of a tree. You have to study the life cycle of organisms. And that's like how you really come to know yourself in deeper abstract concepts like nothingness, like how the mind is empty, how we're all connected. And these are the people that should be deciding society. It's like, and yes, many of these people historically were beggars. There's also people like the Buddhas who were very wealthy, powerful nobility in their time. So should we listen to them? Like, is it based on who has the most money? Should we just listen to Elon Musk? How's that working out? We're already listening to the powerful people who are, quote, doing things, unquote, who already have money. How's that working out? Anybody can be born into money and power. Anybody who has money can make more money.
Who do you hate more, liberals or conservatives?
That really depends on who I interact with more, because I come to hate conservatives since I live in a conservative area. But if I'm browsing Reddit or something, then I come to hate liberals more. So I try to diversify who I interact with so I don't get locked in on hating one side or the other. I can't say they're both really bad. I guess, like, because conservatives and liberals are the same. Once the mercantile capitalist class replaced the nobility, conservatives have no real difference from liberals because they both just are the capitalist class that wanted to corrupt the government. And also, ethno-religions, Freemasons. They're all part of their little cartels, so they're basically just rigging society. And they're both doing the same thing. It's just that with the bi-party setup, it's just deflecting accountability. It's signaling how you're different from the others, but there's no substantial difference. Like, they're both pro-immigration. They're both pro worshiping the GDP and building data centers, and they're both pro oversaturating the labor market, printing more money, increasing taxes. So if you actually do work hard, then you move up an income bracket and lose half your income.
That's why I hate the whole Trump thing, because there's no change with your vote. We vote Trump in the same agenda from the billionaire elite class. They're just implementing social engineering, deregulating our food and our, you know, you know, the red tape for a lot of different things. Like, he's not like this grandiose change, or he's not draining the swamp, and nobody is calling him out on it. Like, a lot of these people still think he's wonderful and great. It's crazy. We live in clown world. God damn.
Well, yeah, it's we're in terminal velocity. Obviously, things are going to get worse. Anybody who's not a liar or anybody who's experienced will tell you that. And it's just going to keep going left, right, and.
But there was a mandate, like a vote. We wanted a lot of people kicked out of it. 50 million people were supposed to get kicked out. I don't think that. I know I'm going to sound really crazy when I say this. I don't think a single person's been deported since Trump's been. I don't think anybody's been deported my whole life, like the last 20 years. I don't think they've deported anybody. They got criminal homies just in every major city. I mean, we've got total like foreign invaders in every major city in this country. I don't think anyone's been deported. Not even a single person.
I'll say people probably are getting deported, but I don't trust the statistics because the U.S. government no longer has any credibility.
You really think some like good old boy in a black uniform put some Haitian on a plane back to his country? I don't believe it. Show me the video. I haven't seen it.
I'm open. I have no real world experience with whether or not people are being deported. Apparently, there's these Mexicans starving in these holding centers or whatever, and they've made the way that Trump operates and the U.S. government in general operates is they'll like do a little bit of what they should be doing, and they'll make a big deal about it, and then they'll stop. Like, that's kind of how they operate. Like the way the government operates is they'll like print $1 billion at some crony buddy of theirs to make an empty factory that produces nothing so that Trump can have the statistics saying we got 5,000 jobs in Indiana right now because of this factory opening up, and then nothing's actually happening. I think that's what's happening.
For a second, Dagger. Marble Tomb, you're about to get banned. I like to be charitable with the callers in the chat, but you're just being a dickhead in my chat, man. Like, you're on a thin ice. You really are, buddy Boyle. If you keep I mean, you can go listen to the Quartering or the Daily Wire if you don't like my channel. Like, for real, bro. Like, we're not doing that. Like, you want to be a little dickhead in my chat, like, go find somewhere else to hang out then, man. Like, if you don't like the channel, just get out of here. Like, yeah, just being a troll. Yeah, okay. Well, keep it up, and then I'll just permaban you, bucko. I really like to be charitable, but don't be a fucking retard in my chat. Now where were we? What were we talking about?
I was talking about I could accept that maybe some deportations are happening, but I don't trust the statistics. I bet Trump is lying.
Well, my problem with the deportation thing is, like, if they really didn't want all the foreigners taking up the labor market, they would go after employers. That's never happened in my entire life. Maybe Bill Clinton might have did it, but no one else since then.
Well, the employers are who they are taking bribes from, and they want an oversaturated labor market.
What would you say, Daggers, to this question that communism and capitalism has never really been tried?
Capitalism is being tried, definitely, because corruption is when basically capitalism controls the government. Communism, I don't really care. I don't really, based on what lefties say and what the governments themselves say, they were in like a transitory period where they were going to achieve communism. Like, China's official stance is that they're not communist right now, but they want to be. That's their end game. Like, Has communism been tried? I would believe that, like, in some shithole they tried and it probably collapsed. And most of these countries that are called communist are socialist, where they have private property and like capital and stuff. It's just that they, reduced the wealth disparity. Like Cuba, that's what Cuba does. They're not communist; they're socialist, and they're struggling because I can't say Z, but the Masonic world order is genuinely oppressing them. Like, they got their fuel cut off. They've been sanctioned for decades.
Which do you hate more? Which one would you say you hate more?
Capitalism or communism? Well, we live in capitalism and it has destroyed us. We are going to be a sub 80 IQ, brown, mongrelized, polluted hellscape. Did you see Donald Trump? He's given away 25% of national forests to deforestation and pollution to a bunch of capitalists. Like, we're in, as lefties say, we are in late stage capitalism. Like, it's when nothing is being produced and now we're just kind of rotting and selling off what exists. It's just corruption now. Just maximizing subscriptions. It's like with what's going on with my internet right now. They're degrading the quality of service and increasing the price, where you have to pay a premium to have the service you had a year ago. Like, that's what capitalism is at right now. So I don't like communists, but we are getting fucked by capitalism every day. Like, the West is gone because we worship capitalism and individualism. Like, this is the system where you sell the key to the Jews to come into your city.
I want to say something, Daggers. I'm not trying to be like, I'm just trying to pin you down a little, and I'm not trying to be like personal attacks or anything. It's that, you've understood that there's been people that have came before you that had a larger audience that were doom and gloomers and that said everything's over and that like the world's ending and the country's cooked and blah 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 and inflation and everything's so fucked up, it's all fucking over, there's nothing you can do. Like, why is it that this is supposed to ring true now when the same people like yourself were saying the same thing 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 20 years ago?
Yeah, that's how you know how much of a joke it is. Like, people were talking about, the Zog fucking in the 1950s, and those guys are all right. They were all proven right. And we didn't listen, and now it's too late. That's what I've come to accept. This is just, we can't produce anything. We're just going to sell everything off. Companies are going to utilize their oligopolies and fraternizing with the government to make sure you pay more for shittier services and goods. It's the way things are. Trump's about to up the pollution. He's going to wipe out the forests. Say it's where we are. They're flooding us with Indians. They're flooding us with America's already moved on from, like, China will never, the Chinese yuan will never replace the US dollar as the global reserve currency. Now it is. And now JD Vance was saying, you don't want to be a global reserve currency anyway after decades of fighting to keep your status as that. It's just lies. It's lying all the way down. We're going to lie all the way until we're dead. It's a bag holder society.
So, Mr. Dagger, I'm going to ask you a question. This is like a really random question, and it's silly, but let's just kind of ask it anyway. So, Mr. Daggers, let's just pretend for a minute. You have $1 million in cash in your closet right now, $1 million in cash. And you're going to go and buy a brand new car, like a Toyota Corolla, right? What symbolism, what flag, what ideology would you raise up or stamp on the back of your brand new car, is there anything that you identify with in terms of flag symbolism, ideology that you would you're openly going to display and not have to worry about getting robbed or murdered? Like there's nothing can affect you. You're going to raise the flag, the symbol. What does it look like? Like what do you identify with? Because I don't really align with liberalism or conservatism or the American flag or the Confederate flag or the maybe the swastika, whatever it may be. Like what symbol are you presenting on the back of your Toyota Corolla?
Well, you have to keep in mind that I guess if I'm rich, I don't care anymore. I don't care if someone throws a rock at me because I could just replace the window. But I'll give like a gay cringe answer. I'll just use my own symbol. It's like the yin yang with the Ouroboros, and it won't mean anything to anybody except me, pretty much. It represents the being, the mind to me. It represents the dialectic and the infinite. Like everything becoming one. It's more of like if you're expecting like a political or religious answer, I really don't feel strongly about anything. I don't even feel strongly about the swastika universally. I would use it to smash people, or if there was some kind of movement going, but just by myself, I don't really care that much about it. As the symbol that I would put on there, I would probably people would just look at it. They would look at it like that coexist bumper sticker where it's just a bunch of random shit. And they're like, oh, that's like some new age tard.
Doesn't it kind of bother you that regular, well, I don't know, so regular, what's the word or what's like a free thinking white man in America has nothing to tie himself to, that there's no symbolism, there's no team to set your allegiance to. Does that make sense? And how would you respond to that?
Yeah, it's true. We don't. And the thing about it is like Indians have the Indian flag, even though the Indian government's been fucking them over. I was just reading from Dismal. He was talking about how they completely rendered a few types of these banknotes, like the 500, the 1,000 rupee or whatever. So they had this giant wealth transfer from the bottom to the 0.001% of society. And even in spite of that, these Indians still associate themselves with the Indian flag when they shouldn't. So it's like, it's delusion. The people that have symbols are delusional for the most part. I guess China, you could argue they have a telos. They have like a purpose that will maybe work out for them. But I mean, like, I guess it would have been better if we had the swastika or something like Germany was trying to do. They're like, we need a symbol.
Don't you think that's kind of interesting? That someone like you or me or maybe Dismal or Weston Decline or Hell by the Dashboard Light or some other dissonant figure wouldn't be proud to have a particular bumper sticker, that there is no symbol for you, Bucko? Is that not telling?
Yeah, it is true. Like there's no symbol to latch on to. There's just the fucking "don't tread on me" snake that every retard has. And I think like the upper echelons of thinkers don't really need symbols. Symbols are more for the masses. Like I don't really particularly need a symbol, but yeah, even if we wanted one, there is no symbol. There's nothing.
But it's not even that. Daggers, that not only do you not have a symbol, or myself, that when I see other people with their symbol, I want to punch them in the face. Does that make sense? Like, wait a minute. We're like we're in deep trouble, Buckle. Like, we don't have we have nothing to align with. There's nothing to get behind, back to back.
Yeah. The only symbol I gravitate to is, like I said, it's I used it on the cover of my book and in my server and pretty much anything. It's like it's the Ouroboros around the yin yang with the sun and the moon and all that. Just represents dualities as one, the dialectic, the abstract mind, the thought. Because
somebody in the chats wants to know our thoughts, or my thoughts, on Pearl Davis. Do you want to tackle that one?
that sounds familiar. Is that some Zionist right-wing woman grifter, or am I thinking of someone else?
She's the white lady who's not very pretty. I mean, I think most of the guys in the chat would smash, but everyone calls her ugly. She's like I think she's a 6-foot redheaded white woman who is an anti-feminist and has had a couple of black boyfriends in her history.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
So, do you just want to give your thoughts on Pearl Davis?
Just another grifter, another cuck-servative grifter, a pick-me bitch.
Well, I guess I'll talk about Pearl Davis briefly. I really do believe that everybody in my chat would smash. Like, so calling her ugly doesn't really work with me. I mean, she fucked a black guy. Well, most of these guys in the chat have never had sex, they've had scraps anyway. I don't think she's that ugly when it comes to, like, would you smash or not? Like, most guys would. Like, let's get real here. I actually kind of like her in terms of, like, her sentiment or her angle at social media and what she's trying to do. The problem is she hasn't renounced her past behavior or denounced, condemned the behavior she's engaged in. So that kind of makes it kind of rough to, like, be a fan of her, because she's a mud shark and she's continuing to be a mud shark from what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. And she has pushed back on the Daily Wire and conservatism and blamed women for all the ills of the world. So I don't totally hate her, and she is a grifter and she comes from a wealthy family, and she's found her niche in life, her niche. And, I mean, you could say maybe she's like controlled opposition, or she's like being funded by Israel. I mean, she's talked to a lot of different people, and she's had interesting conversations with all kinds of different people on the social medias. Do I like her? Not really. Do I hate her? Not really. Is she better than most? Probably. So that's really all I have to say about Pearl Davis. I mean, she's kind of like better than a conservative or liberal, but she's a mud shark. So she has like that little asterisk or whatever. She's, that she has that kind of issue with her, that's kind of the problem. It's like, well, she's doing all these quote good things and presenting a good message and getting these certain ideas out into the ether. But it's like, oh wait, you're banging black guys. So it's kind of like, oh well, I guess discard her, throw her away. I mean, I don't know. That's what I think of Pearl Davis. I don't really watch her content, but she's like, I think Wolf asked me about that MMA guy. What's his name? Jake Shields. So like, I don't have a strong opinion about Jake Shields or Pearl Davis. They're kind of like better than some content creators, worse than others, not good, not bad, I don't want to like go after her. She knows she's a shitty person. She knows she even expresses that herself, that she's a woman. So whatever, that's what I think of Pearl Davis.
I don't care about these. I hadn't even
low hanging fruit, yeah, Mr. Daggers.
I hadn't even thought about her in years.
It's low hanging fruit. Who cares? Tom Anderson, the longtime listener, Tom Anderson has showed up. Thanks. Good to see you, Bucko. I hope things are going well for you, man. I really do. I hope you're having lots of cute white children, but probably not. And that's just how it goes. He wants to know what you think of what we think of Dan Balzerian.
Didn't he just lose an election against Randy Fine? I saw something about that. I have no idea what that is.
I don't hate Dan Balzerian. I don't love him. I think he's partially Jewish. Maybe that's the thing. And he comes from like a wealthy background. He's okay. I think he's like a righteous person who wants to help change or influence. He wants to influence or make his mark. I don't really care about Dan Balzerian. I mean, he's okay, I guess. He's an anti-Semite. I guess I can't really totally hate the guy.
Yeah, I guess it's good that an anti-Semite, as they say, got so far as he did.
20% of the vote or something. In fact, he should run for president just so we can find out how many people would vote anti-Semitism. That would be great. In fact, I was listening to TRS today, and they were talking. Mike Enoch was talking about that. He said that would be a Overton window, a shift of it would shift things into the right direction. Where, what's his name? Patrick Little. I think his name's Patrick Little. Pat Little, or is that his name? Patrick Little, the guy in the back in the day who ran for Senate or whatever in California, and all the Jews were flipping out because he got 80,000 votes. It'd be interesting to gauge how many people really would vote for an anti-Semite in America, because it's probably millions. He wouldn't win, but he'd get millions of supporters. He should do that.
Yeah, he would get a bit more votes from people that don't typically have faith in voting, but you'd still be disappointed by how most people are cattle that have no ideas, no depth, don't care, they just pull out their phone and get brainwashed. They watch Fox News. So they'll just vote however that tells them to vote. That's ultimately what will happen. But yeah, more people would vote for them than otherwise.
Do you find the dollar losing value type content cringe? Does it get a little old when people completely just constantly ring this bell about how the dollar can't, the dollar is worthless now? Does that get old hearing that, or does it something you like listening to?
Most people are too stupid to talk about, and they'll draw the wrong conclusions about it. They'll say the dollar is worthless now, and there's going to be a collapse and a civil war, and we should have been using gold, as if gold wasn't inflated and diluted in history too. And yeah, I mean,
fiat currency is not inherently evil or bad. You would.
Yes, I agree. I think it's good, actually.
I think fiat currency is what is normal and healthy, and that's how a society should be run. That's what I believe. There's nothing wrong with fiat.
Yeah, the problem is that
maybe I shouldn't have said that. There's problems with ways to corrupt it or whatever, but fiat currency is not the issue.
Yeah, the issue is the corrupt state, and the solution that the same people that propose the gold standard, these are the same people that typically, not everybody, but
hold on, Daggers.
Like excess mail.
You're wrong, Bucko. Fiat is good. Yes, excess mail. You're a little behind, Bucko.
I want to preface by saying excess mail wouldn't be for a weak government that would be inevitably corrupt, even though he supports the gold standard. But people in general who say that they want the gold standard They're like, we need to make the government small and weak because they can't even conceive of what it's actually like to govern a giant, complex technological landmass like this. And that I do think that we need the control fiat gives us. Like we need currency to be its own abstract thing. It doesn't have to spiral into usury and bribes. You have to have a strong government that keeps out certain influences. You have to actually have a sense of what a state needs to be, like what we need to actually be doing, not just having these empty platitudes about how the government needs to be small and weak, because that just means the government's still going to be big and expensive, but just corrupt.
And by the way, excess mail. I'm just giving you shit, man. They think the fiat's the fucking issue. People who think that haven't read enough or haven't watched enough fucking YouTube. I don't know, man. This whole gold standard bullshit. I mean, that's a straw man, but yeah, I'm glad you're here, Daggers, to kind of, accept the fact that fiat isn't inherently bad.
Yeah, is who controls the fiat and who would be controlling the gold? It's the same answer. It's the fucking state. You have to ensure that the state doesn't fall to corruption because, the United States has checks and balances. What the fuck does that matter? Look what Trump's doing. Trump's doing blatantly fucking illegal, corrupt things openly, and he doesn't care. Nobody can do shit about it. And nobody was doing shit about the corruption before he was in office. The first time. It's a lie. We don't actually know what the state should be. Our priorities aren't straight. The liberals or the conservatives or the fucking lefties or I would say even most of the alt-right don't fucking know where our priorities lie. Like what makes a state? What makes a society? It's not like these boogeymen, like whether we're on the fiat or not.
Would you describe yourself more as a libertarian or more of a statist? I mean, no way. I shouldn't even have asked that. You talk about the Mange Council or whatever. So
it's not like one or the other because even libertarians agree. Some libertarians agree in monarchism where we should have a king. That if we have a king with absolute power, then he will ensure that we all have positive freedoms. Like that's what I think is. I think if we have a strong, intelligent government, we will have freedoms. I want people to drink and drive. I want people to grow opium in their backyard. And we will have that through a strong government that's not retarded or controlled by foreign ethno-religious groups and cartels.
Do you have siblings, Daggers?
Yeah, 3 sisters.
Oh. Are you the oldest, youngest?
I'm the youngest, so they got all the plunder by the time I came of age.
Now, do they hear your lectures? Do you lecture them? Do you try to talk with them about any of this stuff at all?
I don't talk to them at all. We are completely estranged. We had nothing in common.
Is this half sister or full sister?
1 full sister, 2 half sisters.
See, and
I bet Dag sisters are living way better lives. I'll answer that. One of my sisters is married to a billionaire.
I got to take a leak, so I'll be right back. Give me like a minute and a half.
All right. I guess I may have to repeat this when he comes back, but yeah, they are living better lives than me. My closest sister has a pretty shitty life, but she just kind of poaches men. She kind of alimony hunts men, so she's living way better than me, obviously. My second sister, she's the one that stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from my mother, stole her gold coins, used the money to go to Cancun and bang black men every year for over a decade now. And then my third sister is married. My oldest sister is married to a billionaire who owns thousands of properties in this area, and I have nothing to do with any of that. I benefit absolutely nothing at all from that.
That's harsh. That's kind of fucking brutal, man.
So they all got an easier life because they have vaginas, and they all got married off and started hunting men.
I saw a 25-year-old white girl driving a fire truck today, man. Like, white guys can't get a job, but we got women driving fire trucks. That's how fucking upside down everything is, guys.
Yeah, that's something that should not be happening. I think a problem with liberalism is the tabula rasa, blank slate bullshit, where we have to pretend these people that claim to worship science, they have to deny science to worship the god of equality and GDP.
And Daggers, I don't want to get too personal, and if you don't want to say anything, you don't have to, but like, why do you think it is that you don't have any relationships with your sister? Like, at least your full sister. I mean, half sister I can understand. There's a disconnect. There's a level of separation, but you have a full sister. She's older than you. She doesn't want to be a party. She doesn't want to like help your life circumstances, or what? Like, why do you believe that things are so fractured?
Well, I used to try to be part of the family, but that would entail that I would have to drive up through the mountains, like into the actual mountain peaks during blizzards while the roads were icy and I have no snow tires. And I would be driving up these steep fucking hills so that I could sit and be around these women. It's all women. We have nothing in common. Like they just sat around and just stared at their phones, and I just looked around. I'm like, why the fuck? What's even the point of this? Like, this is completely fake. This is nothing. I just gave up on them. We have no connection. We're just lying.
Yeah, but your siblings, like, you guys, how many years apart? The full sister. We're not talking about the half sisters.
I think she's like 2 years or something.
Older than you.
Yeah.
She doesn't want nothing to do with her brother at all? Like invite you or get together?
It's kind of mutual too. Well, they'd never like extended anything to me because like I would show up and I would try to talk to them and try to be a family and stuff, but I would get nothing back. They would just stare at their phones and just kind of give like, yeah, okay, and there's no connection there. Like so I just gave up on it, like, because what? Not only is it futile, the actual effort it takes to keep up that facade isn't worth it.
I want to address the chat. Bash being a mod is proof that Thomas can't differentiate between friends and enemies. There is no friends and enemies. This is a live stream. This is an open source talk show. This is a free call-in show. Anybody can call in. Women, Jews, blacks, homosexuals. You can try to call into the Thomas White Show and you will get your shit pushed in every fucking time. And I don't need Western Decline. I don't need Collective Dismal. I don't need Dashboard to do it for me. Nobody can call in this show and get after me. You're going to lose every time. I don't care who the guest is. This is an open phone radio show. You can call in. I give people mods for a reason. I don't want particular people I don't want anybody excluded. This is literally a wide open. Anybody can kind of come in here and you're not going to be able to refute me. You're not going to be able to do anything. This is a wide open source show. And I want to protect bad faith people or agitators or provocateurs, because we're not here to be in a hug box. This isn't a fucking hug box. And that's not to say that Daggers is doing it wrong or any of these other channels are doing it right or wrong. This is my stream. This is my channel. Anybody can come in here. Anybody can call in. Anybody can go on the live chat. We're trying to reach people and all the provocateurs, the agitators, the bad faith actors, it will have no effect. Zero. Nobody can call in this show and refute anything that I'm about. It's never been done. It never will happen. And that's why I'm waiting. I want somebody to like bring me into the blue pill, explain to me why the people that I talk to and the things that I say are wrong, and nobody can do it.
Yeah. See, the problem is that I think that ostracization isn't innately bad.
I'm
and
not
that
saying it is.
a lot of people, you kind of, I know this is, there's for the show, you have a different view. You want it to be open, but we've had this talk a little bit before where you're kind of, it doesn't sit right with you that we're like excess males that are ostracized. You don't like the idea of ostracizing other people.
Doesn't matter if Bash thinks I'm wrong, excess male. He can say what he wants as long as he's not being slanderous and making up stories.
Well, he is. Him and his.
Not yet. Not on my channel.
I was going through comments and I saw people that are in their streams literally lying, spreading gossip that that people are like talking shit on me and other people. Like they're just at the point that they have nothing to offer, nothing to produce. All they can do is negate us. Like they genuinely have nothing. We don't need them. They need us to exist. So that's why I ostracize people.
No, and that's fine. Like I don't mind channels that are, ostracized, or controlling their channel or their chat more. That's just not how I do things. And people can get mad about that. People get mad about the callers. People say I shouldn't take calls. People say I gave this guy too much time. I didn't give this guy I didn't give this guy enough time. I don't care, guys. It's a radio show. It's entertainment. If you don't like it, go fucking somewhere else. Go fucking watch somebody else's dumb show. I don't fucking care.
Well, see, with these callers, I understand.
I don't care about concern trolls, excess mail. Concern troll all you want. Call in. Go ahead, Daggers. Sorry.
With the callers, there is kind of a problem because last time there was that guy who said that he used to be homeless and now he works in tech and he works in a Fortune 500 company. So my friend who works in tech asked him about his life and how he did all that. And the guy just laughed at him and called him a loser. Like that guy was literally lying and trolling. Like I didn't really say much. I didn't really know what to make of it at first. And, the stream was about Dismal and Dash. I didn't want to get in the way, but like, it's literally just people that have nothing. These are people that barely exist. They have no morals. They have no thoughts. There is no belief system to engage with. Maybe in 10 years that'll change, like when they suffer.
Here's the thing, Mr. Daggers. That person could have been a total fraud, right? But we talk about hypotheticals. We talk about, or you do specifically, an abstract thinking. And somebody calls in and they could be totally making up a story, but we can address the story. And it doesn't matter where that person comes from. We can still attack the story, refute the story. And it's just fucking, it's all for fun and entertainment, man. That guy tried to call in and he got fucked up. He didn't do it. He had nothing. He had nothing, bucko. And it's okay.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you to change, but I understand the problem and why I do things differently. Because do you ever get tired of talking to teenagers, Thomas? Because I've given up on teenagers a long time ago because they were just too stupid.
I don't really. I'm old, bro. I don't
like in real life, because I had a job like working at a Renaissance festival where I had to deal with a lot of people.
Oh my
in real
God,
life.
that must have been horrible. That must have been a fucking grind.
It was a mixed bag. I wanted it because I wanted a more social job. I did it for 2 years. And it had its ups and downs, and it definitely helped me complete my understanding of the average person. I was basically truth-seeking. I was questing for knowledge by doing it. And it did help me. I succeeded, but One of the things I learned from not even like teen, I mean like 18-year-olds, young adults and stuff, they're just really inexperienced. I've had a few coworkers who were like, they were young guys and they knew that they didn't know things, and they were respectful to me and to other adults, and I treated them fairly. I split tips with them, tips we got from customers. But that's rare. There's people that are just very stupid. And even dudes that are around in their 30s or boomers dying on their deathbed, they're like mentally children, that they're just not worth engaging. They barely exist. There is no belief system. They're just nothing. And it's like, okay, I see your problem is you're basically nothing. You barely exist, and you're not my problem. You're somebody else's problem. And until you like become a real full person, I'm not going to engage with you because
let me address the
I'm tired.
people talking about Western Decline like quitting. It's no big deal. Western Decline is an awesome dude. I love that guy, and he's an interesting fella. And you know, he's not a perfect person. He has flaws like anyone else. And I love doing streams with him. We talked a lot. We did like 2 years of streaming together. This is the Thomas White YouTube channel. This is my channel. He's got his own channel. We had a good thing going. It was fun. We hashed a lot of bullshit. You know, we got into the nitty gritty with a lot of topics, and I'd be glad to do more streams with him in the future. And if that doesn't happen, fine. If it does, fine. Like, I don't really care. Like we had a good run. We talked talked a lot about a lot of stuff. And I'm not like gonna beg him to come back, and he's not gonna, you know, beg me to come, you know, to do streams together. We might do another stream together. It's fine. Like, I don't, you know, and I really think he's a interesting fella, and I hope people keep, you know, following his stuff and go sub or watch his stuff if he's still streaming. I just don't go to Kick. I'm not a Kick, you know, follower. But yeah, I really have nothing bad to say about Western Decline, and we might do another stream. Hell, I don't know, reach out to him. Maybe we'll do another stream someday. Yeah, Western Decline's awesome. Hell by the Dashboard Light's awesome. I like Patrick Bateman. I stream with Pat a lot. He's a fucking good streamer. Good, talented, smart guy, interesting fella. I mean, I've talked to a lot of cool people. Norvin Hobbs. I'll even plug Norvin Hobbs. Norvin Hobbs is awesome. I used to talk to him a lot. Now he's kind of in hiding or whatever. He got doxxed, whatever. It is what it is, you know. And now I'm talking to Mr. Daggers, and Mr. Daggers, by the way, go sub to Mr. Daggers' channel. I'm going to put his channel in the description. So go sub to Mr. Daggers. I'm talking to Mr. Daggers because I think he's one of the best YouTubers, and you know, Mr. Daggers is my favorite YouTube channel right now. So go sub to his channel. Daggers, I'm going to put your channel in the description later on. Anyway, moving on.
Thanks a lot for the compliment. It's, you know, it validates my existence.
Mr. Daggers, you have a different angle, you have a different flavor with your channel. You don't obsess and talk about women, you know, saying dumb shit in their car. That's like low-hanging fruit. You know, you have a totally different, you know, your channel is unique, and it's fresh, and I love it. And it's almost an acquired taste. You can't really, you know, some first-time watcher might not like you right away, but you're like bourbon. Once you have a sip, you might not like it for the first time, but you're going to go back to it at some point.
I just think that I understand some of the problems people have with my voice. Sometimes I get kind of lazy because I am tired of life. So yeah, I am. I've said this before. It affects how I speak. Like there are times I just don't care, and it affects my speech. But I just think that eventually you should become kind of a philosopher, and I will direct people. If you're ever questioning, you know, why things are, what's the underlying, like one of the things that I was trying to understand throughout my life is like, what's the perfect symbol? dictating all of our actions. And then I eventually gravitated towards presupposing nothingness. Like, don't presuppose science, don't presuppose markets or equality or masculinity or women. Just presuppose nothing. And I've uploaded fucking videos from my book.
Yeah, me and CD, we had a little spat. We had a little go at each other. I think it was Christmas time. You can probably find it on my channel. And it was fun. You know, now it made us kind of, you know, more friendly to each other. You have to fight a little. It'll actually bring you closer to someone if you actually like confront them with why you disagree or fight. You know, sometimes a good fight can help relationships. And that might sound, you know, cringe, but you can't just like kiss each other's ass and worship each other all the time. You have to have a little bit of a fight sometimes, and it actually helps. Some of people's best friends growing up, they got in a big fight, a physical fight. And that's just normal. That's normal human relationships. Like men fight, they get into a tussle, they get into a combative nature, and that's just totally healthy and normal. I love CD. CD, the reason I like CD, and yeah, he's probably said some dumb shit on the internet like everyone else, you know, but CD has always supported me. He's always tried to help me and try to get my channel pushed into the right. He's tried to influence me to get my channel pushed in the right direction. And he's never been a backstabber, and he's always just been supportive and tried to help me. So I can't really denounce or disavow or whatever. I can't disavow CD. He's a thinker. He's got ideas, and he's lived life. He's had relationships. He's worked in jobs and went to college, or, you know, done all these things. And he's got a perspective. Everyone has a perspective. And that's kind of neat to get to listen and hear from someone with a different perspective. And that's why I love talking to you, Daggers, because your perspective is much different than others. And I really like that. That's why I like listening to your channel. It's a different perspective. It's a different vantage point, you know, and not to say you're perfect or you have all the answers. And that's why I like, you know, your channel. It's just like kind of a fresh viewpoint.
No, you know, thank you for telling me that, because I feel suffocated when I don't have this outlet and I'm not getting that kind of feedback. And honestly, I fight with some people when I feel like these are people that are like really high up in their journey, but they're not quite there yet. And they got a few problems, but I don't throw out their entire person like I do with these other guys. I can acknowledge when somebody has value. You can do something wrong but still be all right overall.
Oh, by the way, I want to address this too in the chat. The Critters bit. I actually like talking to Critters. Like he's just a weird fuck, and he's an interesting guy. Like I actually enjoyed having conversations with Critters. Like everybody else said he's a Fed or he's this or that. I don't really care. I'll talk to Feds, even call in. Like I don't give a fuck. Like Critters fucking little, the Critters few seasons or whatever, a few shows we did together or whatever that was interesting. And I've never really talked to a homosexual or someone who's willing to, engage with transgenderism and like pretend like they're women. Like I've never spoken to these weird fucks before in my life. I find Critters endearing. Like I actually enjoyed talking with him because you get the low IQ anti-Semitism or low IQ racism. I actually kind of like talking with those people sometimes. They're kind of funny and interesting. Like low IQ anti-Semites and racists, like people just dismiss them like in the Twitter sphere or whatever. Fuck that, man. I want to sometimes they're kind of interesting people. So like I don't regret talking with Critters at all. And that's not to say I think he's a good guy or a bad guy. It is what it is. He's he might have been a Fed for all I know, and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like I'm personally pretty exhausted with a lot of people that I'm willing to seclude myself. I get pretty. I get much of what I'm searching for. Like I enjoyed talking to Western Decline and Dismal. I like when they give me a contrary viewpoint. I enjoyed talking to Dismal, who was telling me, what if there is no mind? What if there is no consciousness, and eventually science, we trivialize it, and the mind becomes like the superstitious thing of the past. And I was like, yeah, that could happen. I'm open to that. I don't believe it's currently the case, but it's an interesting thought. And as for like talking to like gays and trans people, yeah, I understand what you guys in this community mean, where gays and trans, they're very dysfunctional and kind of untrustworthy. Pretty reliably.
Let me bring this up, broski. Talk about Dustin Clay. Here's what I like about Dustin Clay. He has this arrogance about him, this sort of superiority that he really does. He thinks he's better. He thinks he's like a fucking awesome dude. He has a very high opinion of himself. And I actually kind of appreciate that. That's like the opposite of Wolf Slumbers. Wolf Slumbers is like a pathetic, like my woes, my poor me. Oh, my life sucks. And like, oh, I'm a baby. Like, and I like Wolf. Wolf's a good, Wolf's got problems, but I don't want to see him hurt himself. I don't want to see him have a bad life. But they have kind of a different view of themselves. And I kind of like both of those, just to kind of hear from both of them and the kind of how and where they're at life. Wolf Slumbers needs to man up a little, do some push-ups, get off the pot. You're not unique. Like I said, Wolf, I mean, I've said it before. I said it on your stream, Wolf. There has been men that they were 20 years old. They died in a ditch and never touched a titty. So this whole woe is me. Like, you got to fucking get off the pot and get your T levels up. I mean, I hate to do the whole go to the gym, but you need to fucking just stop being, you're a man, be a man. And that sounds red pill tard take. That's like a red pill tard take, but get off the pot. I mean, life's, you can smoke a little weed here or drink a little here. That's fine. But chronic fucking weed head, fucking, when you're down in the dumps, you're down dirty and you feel like everything's hopeless. And then you're going to sit in your little apartment and smoke weed all fucking night and day or whatever, or do your little edibles. That's not going to change your life. Like, you guys kind of make fun of MGTOW Cowboy about, when he comes on Wolf Slumber, he's trying to help. People like me and people like MGTOW Cowboy don't want to see someone like Wolf Slumbers, unalive themselves. Like, get your shit together, fucking figure it out. And I'm not trying to get, put Wolf on blast, but when you're doing 1,500 grams of 1,500 milligrams of pot, and you're already depressed and hate your life. I mean, and oh, poor me, oh, everything sucks. Like, yeah, everything sucks. Life sucks. You know that Norm Macdonald or whatever, the comedian? You're familiar with him, Mr. Daggers, right?
Yes.
Well, a psychiatrist, or it's on Twitter. It's been on Twitter forever. He's like, you're just gambling to escape reality. That's why people do anything, or that's why why people do anything they do. Like, it's to feel good, or to get out of the world you're living in. Like, that's totally normal. I'm hoping, Wolf Slumbers just, I hope he's doing okay. Like, I get it, man. Like life sucks, but only you can change it. No one's going to do it for you, man. Like, you're not a stupid guy. Like, you're going to be okay if you fucking, just work on some things and find your way. And if you don't, like, well, guess what? Like I just said, there's millions of men that came before us and they had a worse life than you. That you're not special. Like, oh, you're short or whatever it is, or you're ugly, or you don't have a good relationship with your mother. Like, get in fucking line, man. And I'm not trying to be mean or disrespectful, or Daggers, you can respond to that. Maybe that's harsh. I'm not trying to be fucking a dickhead.
I understand the want to help. I can't. The main thing I don't like about Wolf is he kind of aids and abets people that are undermining us, and also he talks about race mixing like clockwork. But other than that, I can't shit on him for smoking weed or being so depressed because a lot of people are living the life that he has, which I keep telling him is like I can't shit on people for being drug addicts when they work in a kitchen or something. I don't know what he does, but life genuinely is bad for a lot of people, which is what I want people to acknowledge. Life is bad and we can only improve things when we acknowledge that there's a problem, first of all. And I don't do drugs and I more or less enjoy my life, but that's because I'm a neat. I don't need to do drugs. I saw you went on Wolf's stream, Thomas, and I didn't come on because I just randomly felt really good. I was sitting in my armchair and I was watching the 1931 Frankenstein movie or something. And I was like, I was just completely blissed out of my mind. I was like, this is great. And also when I listened in on his stream, it was MGTOW Cowboy talking about peptides again.
Yeah, I get
So
so triggered with the whole like do this, do that to get your body right. That's so just gay. Like you'd be better off listening to Excess Male, like with like diet and nutrition and physical health. Like trying to like take medications, drugs, artificial testosterone, whatever it is. I don't even know about this shit. People make it too complicated. It's really just calorie deficit. Go for a walk. Keep active. If you're sitting on your little fucking, sitting on your little gaming chair all day and never leave your apartment and you're drinking beer and smoking weed and eating potato chips, yeah, you're gonna get fat and fucking look ugly.
Boomers are fucking pathetic and retarded. They're just injecting themselves with syringes because they can't stop fucking eating.
Yeah, here's the thing. You want to lose weight, guys, just go for a fucking walk and don't eat fucking potato chips. It's pretty fucking simple.
Dude, I barely do shit. I drink 2 or 3 bottles of water a day. I'll eat like rice, I'll eat like mac and cheese, and I'll just sit on my ass. And I'm not fat. I'm still not fat. And you know what you're going to do? Injecting Ozempic or peptides into your gut? You're going to be dependent on those fucking syringes because you haven't changed your fucking habit. You're just going to get fat again without your fucking sham drugs.
I think Destiny addressed the whole how to have a healthy life. Destiny, the liberal tard, the Adderall addict. You can just tell he talked with the red pill fucking idiots, and he basically said it was like a 6-point plan on how to have a healthier, happier life, and he wasn't wrong. And I'm not trying to like be Destiny, worshiper or anything. He said like, really, there's like a few things you can do and you're going to have a better, healthier life. It's really not that complicated. You don't need to take medication. You don't need to go to the gym 6 hours a day and take peptides and fucking do all this dumb shit. Fucking gay. Fucking walk your dog. Take your dog for a walk. And, it's the whole like staying healthy and lean is like the easiest thing in the world. You know what it requires, Wolf? Mr. Wolf Slumbers? Discipline. You ever heard of discipline? Fucking A, man.
Like these boomers are such big fucking babies. They'll be on their deathbed still shooting up Ozempic because they can't stop fucking eating. Genuinely, how much of a non-problem can you have? You know what a real problem is being dependent on actual hardcore drugs to cope with being an 80-hour-a-week wage cock.
Here's the thing. And that's why I respect my brother. My brother's a fat fuck, by the way. My brother's like fucking way overweight. He's got a fucking wife and kids. He's working. He's got a good job. He don't give a fuck what other people think. He don't care. He's never cared what women think or what other people think of him. And he's always got the ladies. He's had the hottest tail you've ever imagined. He was banging 16-year-olds when I was fucking in high school before I did. He's fucking had them all. He's had the big-titted girls, the petite girls, the blondes. He's nothing impressive. He's never gave a fuck what other people think of him. He lives on his own terms. Like, you guys are overthinking it, getting in your own head in the chat. Like, fucking just trailblaze, buddy boyo. Make your own way. Figure it out. I mean, this sounds like really gay and like cringe and red pill tard shit, but I mean, nobody's going to care about you but yourself. You have to care about you before anyone else is going to care about you. My brother was never anyone impressive. He still is. He's never been fatter in his life. He's reproducing right now. He's having his second kid. He doesn't give a fuck what anybody. In fact, he's listened to my streams and he thinks it's a waste of time. What are you doing? Why don't you freaking live your life? What are you fucking sitting in your little fucking room rotting and, oh, poor me. Fucking get it. Get after it. Sorry, Daggers. I'm a little fucking triggered because this whole like, oh, how do I lose weight? How do I get a girlfriend? How about you just don't worry about any of that? Quit worrying and like ruminating and obsessing. Just fucking do something. Do what you like. And that doesn't mean smoke as much weed as you can by yourself in your apartment while you whack off 15 times a day. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just I'm more directed at people that are complaining about being fat and just avoiding eating less, especially if you're a boomer.
My brother is younger than me, by the way, guys. He's not my older brother. My younger brother was smashing and getting all kinds of sex. Not impressive, not popular, didn't do well in sports. He had hotter ass than I ever got when I was a young guy. I was taller, cooler, had more friends. He was banging way more pussy. Like this whole lookism and I need to do this and that. If I don't look like clavicular, I'll never get a girlfriend. So fucking gay, dude. It really what a real man is someone who doesn't give a fuck. Give zero fucks. That's my brother, and that's why I respect my brother. And you know what else I love about my brother? Not only does he not give a fuck, he treats people from all walks of life with respect. He's always been charitable to anybody and everybody. He doesn't like dismiss people because he thinks he's better than them. And that might be your problem, Daggers. And I'm not trying to, be personal or attack you. It's just like thinking you're so smart and I know everything and you're no, he, has an open mind and gives people the time of day. And it's worked out for him.
Oh, I respect people. And then they prove me wrong. They teach me that I should not have respected them. I'm actually very polite. I'm polite and well-mannered with people. I'm inquisitive because you know what gets you through a social situation faster is because being polite, being orderly gets things done faster. I have no intention of scrapping with people. If somebody's not worth my time, I'll just ignore them.
All right. Should we take a few calls, Mr. Daggers?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see how this goes.
Let's see if it's going to be more retards lying about working at IBM.
Trolls. Yeah, more trolls. That's what we're going to get. A bunch of trolls that have nothing to say. Hell, you guys won't even have a fucking question formulate. You won't even be able to formulate a sentence or ask a question. It's pretty fucking cringe. And then you wonder why you're fucking don't have a girlfriend. Like, give me a break. My God.
It's gonna be like some neat talking about how great working is. It's gonna be some guy who just started going outside telling me, a guy who's been to forests hundreds of times, how great it is to touch grass.
All right. We are taking calls. Don't be an asshole. Have your question ready. There isn't no hanging out. There is no hanging out with me and Mr. Daggers tonight. This is like a quick comment question. I'll give you some time. If you actually have, something to say, I'll I'll let you stay on a little while, but we're not doing the whole like, oh, I'm going to hang out and just be a parasocial friendship or whatever. Like, just fucking come in here with the question. If you have something, worth talking about, we'll discuss it. Now, by the way, Daggers, are you a true cell?
What does that even mean at this
You
point?
never kissed a girl, never had sex?
Yeah, I was subjected to horrors that I avoided it with everything in my power.
So are you just saying you have no desire for women, or that you just understand you can't, you're not going to participate because it's not going to work out automatically?
What I want doesn't exist, and I acknowledge that.
Yeah. Like, I don't blame you, Daggers. Like, guys who get down and dirty and roll around in the mud with like these pigs in the pen, like, man, you must be you're just a dirty
I
dog.
don't
Like,
know. I don't know if like the fellow virgins that are bitter about their condition in this community are aware, but I don't think you understand how disgusting it is to see a woman with the cum of another man on her face. I don't think you understand the actual
I don't understand.
full experience. Not you, them. They have not had this experience. They can't conceive of this. They think that there's like this fantasy of like romance and sex and chaddom waiting, that they're just too ugly or autistic to get. I've been over the hill, and it's a genuine nightmare. I've seen what's there.
Do you actively avoid women, or do you hate women, or are you mean to them? Like, I'm just curious.
I don't. No, I'm not mean to women. I treat women fairly. I acknowledge that they shouldn't be like police officers. I don't deny biology or genetics, but I don't like single out women or give them shit.
Tom Anderson, better to roll around in the muck than watch the clock tick your life away. I mean, maybe. I mean, if that's your thing. I mean, I get it. Why a lot of men like PBD, what's his name? Patrick Bett, the brown guy who says he's a rich fuck, a swindler, the guy who did the pyramid scheme to get rich. He's doing the dating talk. He's done it before, and it's just that there's nothing that Zoomer men want. Like 60% of men aren't dating because there isn't anyone worth dating. Like, men being selective is healthy. Like, wife material. Like, we used to have this delineation. Like, there was the prostitute. There was even Fuentes said this. There's the prostitute. Now they're all just men. Now women are all just men, basically. They work, they pay their taxes, they pay their own rent. We used to have prostitutes, mothers, and nuns. Now we have just a bunch of women that act like men.
I'd be okay. Like I've said repeatedly, I'd be okay with like an equal relationship as long as the woman has she's not completely blown out and is generally tired of life the same way that I am, where we become polite and orderly and rational because you're no longer entertained by like these curves in the path of life. You just want things to get done. And if we were just on a contractual basis, that would be okay. But that is not what is out there, because when they have money, they want you to have more money. That is true. They don't respect you as much when you don't make as much as them. Like that's just a fact. And men feel like shit. But this is nothing new.
Are you willing, Daggers? I'm curious. Are you willing to go for the single mom at all?
No.
Or the mud shark child?
No.
How about
just kill me instead?
How about slightly overweight?
What do you mean slightly overweight? Does that mean like 300 pounds?
No. I'm saying like maybe 20 extra pounds. Not bad looking, but not a smoke show.
I mean, if she's like around where I'm at, that's generally what I want. I'll be honest, I don't want to look at something ugly every day. I wouldn't feel good about myself.
why do you think you're single, like in a nutshell? And I'm not trying to, like, I'm genuinely curious, like, why do you think, because you say height doesn't matter, like, why do you think you're single? Like, why do you think that is?
Well, I was born
Wait. Daggers. Before you go, like, when I ask why do you think you're single, you are in a different phase of your life. You're 30 something years old. You're not 21 anymore. Has it been worse or better that you're older, or is it that you're less interested? Like, explain to us in the chat why it is specifically that you're single. Like, is there something you can point to that makes, is it just poverty and you're not like a provider? Go ahead.
It's a mix of poverty, no connections, bad location. I unfortunately went down the rabbit hole of accumulating knowledge on the internet, so that I devised these notions of chivalry and honor. And then I went out and experienced real life friend groups since I was a young teenager. All these guys telling me that, oh, just go outside and meet people. I've been meeting people for like when you were in diapers, really. And it's hell. The men and the women are ugly. They abuse drugs. When I say people are stupid, see, I don't care what your interests are. I don't care. I would enjoy if a woman enjoyed feminine things like watching sitcoms on Netflix and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's funny. She likes to paint and she likes painting and like those Netflix shows about businessmen and women gossiping on a resort or the London Abbey or whatever. It's like, okay, that's cool. But that's really not what happens. And when like, first of all, you do what men of my status have to contend with each other for is single mothers. Men have to offer up their free weed. They have to fight with each other to all get at a single mother who has 10 different men wrapped around her finger. And this actually predates our time, because this is what was apparently happening with our parents too in this area. It was like one woman playing like 10 dudes at once. And then there's also like, why I don't want to have to work over 60 hours a week for something that's disgusting, that's shit, that's miserable. I would rather be ascetic and just be by myself, because I do enjoy my time. I don't complain about not having a girlfriend or a wife. I don't complain about not getting to go to Six Flags or whatever every couple of months. I actually enjoy sitting here in my armchair watching movies. I do have hobbies. I don't just mindlessly consume. I have a plethora of things that I enjoy doing. I'm in no rush. I'm willing. I've already accepted my death. A lot of you guys can't even conceive of what dying is actually like and being unmade. Like, you guys will talk about killing yourselves here and there. You can't actually conceive becoming nothing like I have. Whenever death creeps in on me, I accept it. I'm like, this is it. I had some things I wanted to do, but I guess I'm getting off here. You guys can't comprehend where I'm at. I do not care.
Has women showed interest ever, Daggers? Like, you're a tall guy, right? Like, no.
Yeah,
no women have showed any interest ever.
Yes, I've had a coworker. She said that I was a real man. She was hinting at me, but I didn't care, because when I go to work, I'm on autopilot. I just want to be in and out. I'm turning my brain off and I'm just working. And then I've been around different groups. I've been around women that travel and do drugs, and I didn't care about them. I just didn't care. Like, I've been to these worlds that these guys romanticize and fantasize, though it's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is at all. Like, it's still in this sphere. It's like just talking to NEETs talking to NEETs or people that just started a bottom tier job, talking about how great working is. You just fucking started.
Daggers, can I just say, is it really as simple as like women aren't really worth it or desirable? Like, let's do the analogy again. You've got $1 million in cash, nobody knows about, in your closet. Are you trying to procreate in that situation? Hypothetically.
I'm putting that money towards creative projects. I have a video game that I still want to make, but I need to purchase some resources for it because I have tried to make them myself. I've tried to program them, but I keep running into bugs. So I would drop like probably thousands of dollars on that. I would relocate somewhere, hopefully somewhere with better prospects for maybe a job or something. I would invest the money. That wouldn't go towards procreation. No.
Yeah, nobody knows you have the money. You're just not going to pursue or try to like. I mean, do you think you might regret this? Like that there's a woman that you maybe could have had a life with. You're not worried about maybe, hey, maybe I should have talked to that girl that was interested in me at work. Like, you don't, no regret. Like
I don't regret like not talking to that woman or other women at all. There's actually one woman I was attracted to at work, and she had a husband and she was cheating on him in the parking lot with another coworker, and her husband doesn't work at the business. So that, and talking to nurses, people that work at hospitals, it came to me. It made me realize that normies are animals and don't even care about marriage and just shamelessly lie. They will just add an extra digit to how many sex partners they've had. I've accepted that this is the way the world is. You shouldn't expect anything from the cattle masses. I don't shit on people for liking Star Trek. It's like, I can't wait for GTA 6 to come out. It's like, I don't care about GTA 6, but that's cool that you enjoy that and enjoy things. That's not for me, though.
So man, fuck. You don't want a woman because of the dynamics, because of the way the things that are set in place, that you say it's fruitless, that you'll get burned or it will end badly, or that you align with antinatalism. Like, what is it? Like, I'm sorry that I'm obsessing with this.
I'm not necessarily an anti-natalist, although society, I absolutely sympathize, and I do agree that like the world is getting worse, and who the fuck cares about having kids in an oligarchy, to be a slave? Everything's going to be polluted. If your kids even do reproduce, they'll probably become gay. They might breed with Indians. They might get their DNA blasted by the carcinogens in the food. And yeah, it's like, yeah, and it is pointless suffering, isn't it? And people can only really understand it when they've experienced suffering and enough that they can't deny it to themselves anymore. What was the first part you were asking?
Well, just that. I mean, it's you don't have you don't have the urge at all. Like,
do I just not care about not having a woman? Well, see, this is why my parameters for being in a relationship is that it should be kind of cold and rational, because I acknowledge. So this is how you know that people are lying to you or have no idea what they're talking about, because they think that relationships and marriages is like this eternal honeymoon, that like friendships are just going to be perpetually validating. No, like I want my parameters is talking to somebody who is aware, who is basically tired of life as well, who thinks contractually, cold and logically, where we do just kind of like, I'll be talking to her the way like I'm talking right now. We'll just be kind of talking things out like this. Like, we need to do this and that. Hey, what are you watching? I guess I'll sit down and watch that. And we don't have any myths about relationships. We don't have myths about that sex should be ever gratifying. because that's actually bad.
Mr. Daggers, I know everything sucks, but don't you think maybe? I mean, how does your dad like? And I don't want you to answer anything you don't want to. It's just that maybe that you're too negative or focus on the bad. Like, there's nothing good from like life. Like, you're alive, you're here. Like
I'm enjoying life, but people keep trying to force or suggest things that are bad about life onto me.
Do you not see like the wonders ever of the world, or the beauty, or the good?
I've done that. Dudes are talking about, oh, it's amazing to have relationships with people and touch grass. I've had more friends than you. I have more exposure to relationships than you, even though I've not had one. I've been around them. I've listened to dudes talk about how much it sucks. I've literally watched wives and husbands cheat on their spouses. I know that normies are animals. So it's not what you think it is. If you still fetishize emotion, you are a child.
No, I'm saying that like you think that there's no hope for something unique for you and someone else that could happen. Like, that's just not a thing at all.
It probably isn't. I mean, could I up my chances by grinding away? This is what I tell people who ask me about what should they do about how, like, meeting women and stuff. It's like, well, assess your priorities. Do you value your comfort or, your passions more than women? How badly do you want women? Are you willing to forego your comforts to go meet women? Because what you have to do to meet women is to kind of grind away and be present in their lives, which I don't care. I've already seen their lives. I don't want to be part of it. It doesn't interest me. I can't force interest in it. I can't force small talk with normies anymore. I can't pretend to be interested in MMA. That's fine if other people like MMA. I'm not going to pretend like I care. I'm not going to pretend to care about the weather when I don't. And like, why I would want a contractual relationship is because I know that if there's any spark at all, it would quickly die. That's the reality. That's not being a pessimist. That's being realistic. That's being wise to the nature of a marriage. Which, again, that's like it's kind of this is why I kind of like don't talk to people who are like mentally teenagers that are still wondering what it's like to be in a relationship and start to glamorize it. So you don't know.
When is the last time you pursued women on a dating app or in real life? Has it been a long time? I assume
like 4 years ago, probably.
Because I do think that even Wolf said this, I think, when I was on the stream, that sometimes men take a little time to, I don't know, you get to your 30s and women start looking your way. And I'm not trying to say that they're desperate or that suddenly, like, you've kind of grown up a little more and you're more mature, that have you seen it change in how your life arc has come? Like, has it been worse or better as you've gotten older, or
I have experienced a lot more mental relief since I sorted out a lot of like philosophical problems I was having. That was the main driving force pretty much in my life. That's why I would talk to people. I even threw myself into social situations to try to learn the truth of things, because I was much angrier in like fighting people because I was trying to learn myself. I was trying to test ideas, and now I'm.
Hold on, Daggers. Eschenfelder, I do think that it's different for everyone. It is a little more complex. More, this idea that when you become 30, women don't look your way. I just think everyone's life's different. I'll give you an example. When I was growing up and I was in high school, there was some guys that were really like, they were getting all the tail. But then you look later on and you hang out or talk to these guys later on, they lose their looks. They lose their, like, everyone has a different life arc, that you might be your best, the best you've ever been at 29 rather than 19. And that goes the opposite for other guys. Other guys, it's 19 is the best they've ever looked, and they're in the prime of their life. That you kind of grow into something. I just think people have different arcs, different life arcs. That you think that somebody might be ugly when they're 18, and then you see how they've like accomplished and what they've done with their lives and how they've kind of came to be in their 30s. Then all of a sudden they've kind of got a better handle on life. Like I don't believe it's universal that women think that all guys. I mean, hell, Coach Greg Adams just did a stream about how all the Zoomer girls are going after older men. Now that might be a grift and a cope. But I just think that it's more complicated, and I don't want to sound cringe when I say that. I just think that, everybody's life is different. Like you could be kind of like this, like when a dog, like I'll use a dog as an example, where like they look cool when they're a puppy, and then they have that kind of middle phase, the ugly phase, and then they grow into this great looking dog. And like I just think humans can be that way, where some of the best people, the most popular, coolest people in high school become like ugly and gross and like jaded by 30. And then that the 30-year-old who, wasn't cool in high school is kind of getting his come up. And Daggers, you can refute everything I just said, but you want to respond to that?
I live in a Rust Belt shithole, so that doesn't gel with what happens here. It's basically you're nothing, you're poor, and you're worthless when you start off. You will be for the rest of your life. Enjoy your single mother.
Daggers, you're tall, you're 6'5", and you think you're better than everyone. You think you know it all. You think you've got it all figured out.
I am more attractive now. I used to be like a spurg, like visibly and like behaviorally when I was around 18. But now, yeah, I do look at myself and I do think I'm attractive, and I can act normal. I talk to people. I know how to manipulate people in real life. I talk to idiots and make them feel special, like I'm interested, and then I pull the plug and leave.
No, totally. And by the way, I'm not trying to be like criticize you or wail on you tonight. I hope you don't think it's like a personal.
I don't care. I'm totally totally chill, and I'm totally relaxed and neutral right now. I'm in my armchair, just not caring. I'm very comfortable.
Daggers, this is the first stream I think I've ever done where no one called in, man. Nobody's called in today. That's wild. They don't have the
yeah, big fucking deal. What? Okay, yeah, let's hear Bash come in, and he's going to talk about how great driving is because he started doing it this year, and he's going to be saying it to me, who's been driving for 12 years and doesn't care anymore. That's what it would be. Like, who cares?
All right, so I want to ask you about something else. This is kind of shifting gears a little, and I just want to hear what you have to say. Daggers, I feel like something happened. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm old, and now that COVID's, been a thing, and we did the whole Trump tard stuff for 10 years. It's like time doesn't feel the same. Like it's like, have you noticed that it feels like I have to brush my teeth more often, or go to the bathroom, or piss or shit, or clip my nails? Like it feels like everything's just so fast. It's like I wake up, I'm like, my God, like time is moving quicker. Does that ring true to you? Do you have anything to say about how like the time seems to be flying by faster than it did like 10 years ago? I mean, is that weird to say? I understand like relative time, that I'm older than I've ever been, that it's not like when I was a 7-year-old in elementary school, and that an hour felt like an eternity, and now an hour feels like a minute. But just it does seem like we're on edge. We're more anxious. Time's moving faster. What do you think about that? People have mentioned this on Twitter Spaces. Like, what's your thoughts?
Yes, time is moving so fast that for the last couple of years, I've aggressively tried to cling to a hobby so that when time flies by very quickly, I have something to show for it. I feel like a vampire. I feel like 1,000 years old. Like if I need to hang on. Like I need to try to manage my time better. Even when I enjoy myself, I need to be like, okay, I need to actually sit down and cling to this fucking movie, give it my full fucking attention, and enjoy it. And then I'm writing three books right now, and I'm trying to cling to them. So because time is flying by, like I've accepted my death. Like I don't know what else to say. Like I'm already dead. I'm dead tomorrow. Time's a fucking illusion. It doesn't matter. Like my brushes with death and then seeing people my age or younger than me dying randomly from like liver cancer. Just a guy playing basketball and he's 30 years old. Oh, keel's over, dead instantly. And I almost died from sepsis a month ago, and time's moving fast, and I've accepted it. Like this all means nothing. I'm just trying to produce something because my death is all guaranteed already.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like I just clipped my nails and I got to cut them again. And I feel like every little dumb thing I have to do, like I said, clip my nails or take a poop. It's like Jesus. It just comes up so fast. I can't stand it.
Dude, you're saying that to me right now. My hair is long. My nails are long. There's fucking. I need to wipe the floors because I don't. This is why I'm like. I try to take showers, but it's like, God damn, it's time for another one already. I tried to I got a shower so that because I got to keep infections off of my body. I'm trying. There's not going to be any Medicaid. Like, there's going to be no help. There's going to be no health care. So it's literally like I'm like trying to remember to take a shower so I can keep the germs off of me. Because I'll blink and it's like, oh, I haven't showered in a week. I just like I'm cutting my nails right now with a buck knife.
A buck knife. That's awesome.
I have.
Who got you the buck knife? Did you buy it at Target or what?
I randomly bought it at some sporting goods store like 10 years ago, and I've been using it ever since. It stayed so sharp, and I use it to open letters. I use it to cut my nails because it's so sharp. You just hold it to your nail, pass it through, and it cuts the nail off.
Daggers, what kind of shoes do you wear?
I wear like sandals with straps, or I wear these dirty old canvas boots, or I have these German paratrooper boots that have been through 10 years of wage cocking, and they're still fine. They're like steel toe, like almost knee high fucking paratrooper boots.
Cool. Yeah, I got like 20 pairs of shoes, but I mainly wear my Brooks running shoes because they're comfy and easy to put on. And I got all kinds of shoes, but yeah, I got the Ghost 14s. Guys, go get yourself a pair of Brooks shoes and go take your dog for a walk. Touch grass. Go touch grass, Bucko. I'm half kidding.
I bought these boots in case I would have to like die in a gunfight or something. It would complete my outfit, and it's also really good for like kicking people in the face. But I just ended up using them to wear to work, and they actually are amazing. They are sturdy. They survive. They are actually made for German paratroopers to trudge through like thousands of miles of wilderness. These are actually amazing. You actually should spend a bit more money on boots.
Wait. Tell me, which ones are they? I'm gonna look them up later. Just tell me.
Oh, fuck. I mean, let me go check the tag. Oh, fuck. Where are they?
Oh, I still got my Doc Martens, guys. I still got my Doc Martens. Not that I wear them. No, I don't really wear them. Nothing.
I swear to God, if they're somewhere else. It might be in another room.
Who cares, man?
But should I walk away and go look at them?
No. You don't have to do that.
Just look up German paratrooper boots, and they're like probably $200 or something.
How much we in for, Bucko?
It's like $200. They're good. They're worth it. Whatever the fuck they are. They're probably the best article of clothing that I've ever bought in my life. They suck at first because you got to break them in. It's like walking on wooden blocks, and like the ankle fabric will scrape into your ankle. But they are, when you break them in, they're amazing. I wear these in the winter, and when I'm whenever I was going through like game lands or state forests or national forests, I would take these fuckers. And if a dog would ever, someone was talking about fighting dogs. I think it was Dismal on his last stream. It's like, if a pit bull rushes at me while I'm wearing these boots, I'm winning. There's no question. I'm kicking that fucker in the face. There's fuck all that bitch can do to me. They're literally fighting survival boots for long treks.
Do you carry a knife?
Yeah, sometimes. Because there was like a wild dog or something that was running past me in the shrubs when I was walking around a couple months ago. So now I carry my knife with me.
All right. I can't believe nobody called in today. That's fucking wild. I usually get like hundreds, or not hundreds, but at least a dozen callers. This is just nuts. All right, well, whatever. No callers tonight. That's fine with me. I don't give a fuck.
They got nothing to say anyway.
Well,
yeah, they don't.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they're really good, Daggers. Sometimes they're really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've listened to you sometimes. Like I was driving my dad home from the weed dispensary one day, and I had you playing on speaker. We were both listening to you. And you had some good guys calling. That was like back in April or something, I think.
What does your dad think of like kind of the way you live your life? Is he disappointed? Does he support you? Does he just love his son?
It's very complicated. I mean, obviously he wishes things were better, but he acknowledges he's out way more than I am. He's constantly outside. He's way more keyed into things, and he literally agrees with me on everything. He agrees. When I talk about how things suck, he will give me anecdotes about how things specifically in our area suck. He will tell me about how the mayor worked with the police to cover up his son getting into a drunk driving accident where he flipped over a truck. Like, he'll just tell me random shit like that. But yeah, I mean, he obviously wishes things could be better. I wish I could do something better, but
Bob, you're live on the Thomas White Show. How you doing, Bucko?
Hey man, it's good to talk to you. I've listened to you for a long time and I've enjoyed it. I wanted to talk about if I
hold the phone.
Yeah.
Hold the fucking phone. Give us some stats. Are you a sex haver? Rough age. You don't have to give us your exact age.
Okay.
Sex haver on height, sex haver, and age. Go ahead.
I'm in my late 40s and I'm pretty sure I'm still about 6'1", in case I haven't started shrinking. Sex haver? No, I've actually been divorced for about 5 years now, actually, and no, not too much sex going on at all.
Find the channel? How'd you find the channel?
I think Steve Hoka. I think I heard about it. Yeah.
Steve Hoka gets a little too much shit. I like Steve Hoka, but there's issues with everybody, and he's got a few issues, but he's put out he's one of the godfathers, he's one of the Mount Rushmores of the TFL incel space. But anyway, go ahead, Bob, and ask your question or make a.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
No rush, Bucko.
Yeah, yes, I've been a fan of Steve's and held by the Dashboard Light for probably close to a decade or so. Yeah. Um, I guess what I wanted to touch on is you were talking about how time has seemed to have accelerated. I know, like you were saying, like, of course, time is, the older you get, the smaller fraction of your life a year would be. But a lot of people have that theory about COVID. I'm sure you've heard about that, where everything kind of shut down and we were all kind of isolated, and it's some type of collective PTSD thing that could be going on that kind of added to all that perception. Because I noticed it within the last 5 years, things seems like they've sped up at least 10 times. 10 times faster. I would say it's crazy. I have a young son, and it seems like, well, he's almost a teenager, but it seems like he's gone from being in kindergarten to a teenager within just a few months. It's like I don't know.
Bob,
Maybe
let me say something. And by the way, Daggers can address anything you said about time. That's fine. But I'm glad you've listened to Steve Hoka or someone like of that ilk or whatever, because having a young son, a teenage son, a 12-year-old boy or 14-year-old, at least you can kind of maybe understand how he's kind of what he's going through. I think a lot of parents are a little inept and they don't know what's going on. They, like, you kind of seem like you have a little handle on kind of the situation. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I try to, but at the same time, I try not to be one of those parents or people that thinks they know what's going on with the young people today, because I'm so far removed to it. It's more like you tell me and I'll ask questions to try to gain an understanding, rather than hammer home the way things used to be 20 or 30 years ago back in the Stone Age when I was a kid, which people, still will do, like the boomer, of course, the sentiments of, just work harder, or, you want that job, just go in there and go right in and march in and apply. A world that doesn't work like that anymore, even outside of dating and whatnot, which I'm sure there's some nuances and changing gender roles and dynamics that I really don't understand fully. Like, I might have a, basic summary, that I've read in, online, but that doesn't account for the real experience of it, the experiential knowledge of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Daggers, do you want to respond to the time lapse, or how time's moving nowadays?
I don't have much more to add than what I said. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
Shit's flying by.
Bob,
I try to cling to something that matters.
But Bob, why do you listen to Hoka or the Thomas White channel? Like, I'm just curious. Like, what's the point? Like, how did you become a avid listener?
I'm not 100% sure. I remember I guess I've heard some Manosphere content, even the beginnings, the seedlings of that stuff, maybe 15 or 20 years ago, even before I got married. And then I got married in spite of it, and it, didn't go so well. So maybe I should have taken it more to heart. I don't know. But yeah, I think I've always been open-minded to that kind of thing.
Why do you think your marriage didn't work? Like, in a nutshell, like why is it so tough for men to make it work with women?
Well, I think it's always been tough. And I think now there's less social stigma on the part of the woman for wanting to leave. Where in the past, it might have been 50-50 or more, or even more on the fault of the man that, maybe he was having an affair or, got into drugs or gambling. But now that doesn't seem so much to be the case. But the woman, of course, will make some type of post hoc rationalization to gain sympathy and make it seem like they're not such a bad person for wanting to leave by, vilifying the man, which I'm sure this is nothing new to anybody that's listening, that fact of life. But I think there's the lack of social stigma behind divorce,
You're absolutely right, Bob. Bob, I agree with you. I was a kid, a teenager, and I saw all these NBA players, quote unquote, abusing women or NFL guys, whatever. Women
Right.
choose the man. Women choose their partner. Women select who they have sex with and who they mate with and who they procreate with. and they need to be held accountable. They need to be held to a higher standard. If women do in fact pick a man and marry a man, they should have, more pressure and more social stigma when they do make a selection. And I think that's a problem in society because they are the selector, and to renege and to back out is a betrayal of men's psyche.
Yeah, I mean, even the Christian people that I've known that are really into church and well respected in their congregation and whatnot, and you would never think they would get divorced, but it turns out it seems like they get divorced just as much as anybody else, and they just I think from what I've seen, like we were saying, that most of the time it's the woman that wants to vilify the man, so she has their social acceptance by building up BS, making it seem like he's the bad person, horrible guy, Uh, so she has the social support of her group to leave, if that makes sense.
Bob, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm just maybe I'm going to catch you off guard a little. Do you
Yeah,
do you think let's just say your son's 14 for just shits and giggles.
sure.
Do you think that he should be listening to someone like Steve Hoka, or should he be more of like a blue pilled person and just kind of just think that it's going to work out for me? Like, is black pill content, is manosphere content healthy? Would you advise a 14-year-old son to listen to a Thomas White YouTube channel?
I would advise a child or a young person that is of the age of reason to take into account multiple perspectives and be open minded. So yeah, I think he should, but at the same time, I think he should listen to other sides of this, of the issues and the opposite, ends of the spectrum as well, and come up with your own conclusions. And don't just listen to them. Try to see how that plays into what you're seeing, what you're observing, what jives with what's going on in the world. Can you see any patterns or anything? Uncover any truths, but from the synthesis of these two opposite sides. If that makes any sense.
How do you feel about that, Daggers? I know you're a true cell. Do you think that you should, that style of parenting where you let your child figure it out on his own, let him absorb, is that the right way to go, or do you believe more in like the grooming style that you should groom and push your kid in the right direction, or push him into certain ideologies? Not, I'm just curious, Daggers. It's give your 2 cents. You can go long or short with it.
Well, you have to be pretty active with your child. You can't just let them do whatever. Like, in order to bond with them, you have to create memories. You have to do things with them, and by spending time around them, you can be there when they ask a question like, why is the sky blue? Why do people act like idiots? Something, then you can answer that, and you're already guiding them into what you are. They're mimicking you, and you kind of want to make sure you maintain a presence in that before they get handed over to the Zog education system in the internet.
Yeah, I could see that. But I'm not that I don't engage with my child, which I do, and we discuss many things, even very controversial things. But I always tell him, like, this is what I think based upon my experience and my knowledge. But you don't have to think that. I don't want him to grow up to be one of those people that's like, well, why? You ask, why do you believe something? Well, my mama and my daddy believed it, so I believe it too. You know what I mean? To me, that's complete idiocy on someone who's a grown, mentally developed adult believes something just because their mama and daddy told them to. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense to me. I find that to be very, very weak.
Yeah, you're not saying to force things onto them, and I'm not saying it either. It's like I guess what seems like it would be better for me is to just kind of be truthful, be knowledgeable yourself, be actually wise. Don't be a dumb boomer, and you can answer their questions and frame things for them, and then they'll come to the rational position naturally. because
Sure.
there is no one ideology that will
Right.
solve or explain everything. Just be knowledgeable and wise yourself, and they will follow if you're prescient enough in their lives, I guess.
Yeah, and also, if I may speak just a little bit more, it seems like people get into an ideology and you get into a sunk cost fallacy where it becomes your identity, and even anything you see that would turn that ideology on its head, you don't want to acknowledge that because your whole foundation is based upon that identity. I talk about that a lot with my son too. Just look at the state of politics, and why are people what the Trump mania and all that stuff. What is that? What's behind all of that? And it seems like you get a conservative political ideology or a liberal political ideology, and it becomes your identity, and you can't think outside of that. And that's why things, I believe, are so polarized. But yeah, I don't know what more to add. But
Would you recommend young men searching for marriage and trying to find a wife? Do you think that's gonna? Are you against marriage? For marriage? What are your thoughts?
yeah, I'd be cautious about it. I think it gets more dangerous the older you get, and the more assets, of course, you accumulate. That are your own. I don't think I would want to get married or intertwine my assets in with anybody else's. Like I wouldn't want.
Here's the thing, Bob. Bob, here's the thing.
Yeah,
you have a son, correct?
I do. Yeah,
Now, that's something you're proud of, correct?
sure, absolutely. I love my son.
Now, you would want that for other men. Am I wrong?
Absolutely. Yeah. You don't understand the depths of love, and it opens up a whole nother
Let me
level of
just say something,
consciousness.
Bob. Let me say something.
Yeah.
So I had a boomer dad, Democrat union guy.
Mm-hmm.
We had a little talk in the truck when I was a teenager, about 13, 14 years old, about wearing condoms.
Mm.
I have friends of mine that, they got the Hail Mary, or, the woman at the end of their lives, they have a kid with a 29-year-old. But then I have my stepsister. When I was growing up, she was impregnated by age 16. She had 2 children with a man, right?
Yeah.
So I guess my question is are you trying to prevent your son from getting his dick wet, or are you saying wait and find the right girl, or just find a woman, a young girl, and get your nut? Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah. I wouldn't be so crude with it. I, of course, wouldn't. We haven't had any talks or anything like that. My son, he's kind of he's a really intelligent kid, and he's not obviously too far off the normal spectrum. If at first glance, or just talking to him, but he is on the autism spectrum. So I think that might be a big difficulty for him to find a girl in this.
I'm just
climate.
saying, Bob, I'm just saying,
yeah.
let me just jump in and interrupt a little bit here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make a point or get something across, that guys wait till they find the right girl. How about you just get it in with the fucking hot little fucking 17, 19-year-old, have a fucking kid, and if it doesn't work out, at least you fucking procreate. At least you do have offspring. At least you do have a son. There's lots of guys, they missed their window. Like you could
Yeah.
you could wait and find the right girl. Now you got scraps to deal with, and now you got a mentally ill woman who's on all kinds of prescriptions and has been jaded, from life. I just think that mating and dating is for young people, and to reject that, like my boomer dad worrying about me and my brother having sex when that's what we're supposed to do.
Right.
Men are supposed to have sex. They're supposed to have children. And I understand the financial burden, or the burden that might put on you as a parent, but you're going to depriving young people from, mating and dating, or like having, something real. Like, I guess what I'm asking,
you're right.
is it really that bad that your kids, let's say he's 17, 18, 19, and he impregnates a 17-year-old, and at least he has a child? Like, forget the relationship aspect of it. he might be able to procreate or get it in with a good
Mm,
girl who isn't jaded yet. I mean, I guess when I'm kind of
possibly.
I'm throwing a
Yeah,
lot at you. I'm throwing a lot at you. I'm just kind of curious what you think about
sure.
what I'm saying.
Well, those are some definitely good thoughts and good points, and I yeah, definitely agree with you because you definitely do have those most of those opportunities when you are young to meet girls, and that you've had that foundation of having similar experiences at that same age, so you can have that bond that would probably be deeper later in life. Continue on versus strangers when you're outside of that kind of environment of propinquity, I guess you'd say, like high school and college, early college maybe. But that's true on one hand because you might not get the opportunity later in life.
Millennials
Yeah.
were scared. Millennial men were taught to be scared of pregnancy, scared to get it in. Fuck that.
Oh yeah, in my day it was
Fuck that.
AIDS. Everybody was scared. Yeah, in my day, everyone was scared of AIDS. The whole AIDS thing, like did you know that people would be like all these rumors that we're all going to know somebody that has died of AIDS by the year 2000, and that, even if you use a condom, that the virus is so small it could go through the pores. All these bullshit that scared a lot of people off of sex. But to circle back to what you were saying, I think it's a coin flip because I think if I would have gotten some of these girls pregnant that I would have known or dated when I was young, my life would have been a complete clusterfuck. And I'm sorry, I don't know if I can cuss to the stream, but it would have been even worse, I think, than the woman I got divorced from.
Would it have been though? Maybe you would have grown up faster. Maybe you would have become a man even earlier in life. Like this whole wait for the right thing and wait till you're at the right time. It's like men can't grow up and maybe they need to be forced to grow up. That's depriving or discouraging your son from getting his dick wet is a bad idea. That's what I got from the boomer era. That millennials should be scared of sex. Don't wear a condom. Don't ever have kids. Like that's not the way to go. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think it's definitely the way to go either. But I think at the same time, you've made some good points, and I agree with it a lot. But at the same time, I would be cautious. I still think this "don't put your dick in crazy" should still apply to young men too. I think
the pool of crazy is going to be a lot larger when he's in his 30s, trying to find some 29-year-old, 31-year-old. Young girls are naive, they're bubbly, they're fun, and then to just, I guess what I'm saying is like, as a parent with a son, like I said with my father, and making them scared of sex or making them scared of family or making worried about financial obligations. Like, how about men just do what they're supposed to and like find a nice girl when they're young and have a life together. And even if it doesn't work out, you would have a grandson.
That's true. Yeah, that's definitely something to think about. I'll be honest, I haven't even thought about that yet with my son. Hasn't even really crossed my mind, but it's definitely something to think about for sure. And some valid points. At the same time, like I was saying, I think if they had the right family too, the girl's family was okay. I think that would be more of the deal breaker because if you could have the point where you got the girl pregnant, her family, doesn't, encourage her, not have anything to do with the father, and kind of hides her away or whatever they do. You know what I mean? When in a panic situation like that, could really cause some problems too. So I've seen that kind of happen to people that have gotten girls pregnant at a young age that, they were so influenced by their family, and especially if it was like a religious family too, that can really make the daughter feel ashamed and alienate the daughter against the boyfriend or whatnot, and want to have the sole influence over their daughter's life and the newborn child's life. I think that could happen also. What do you think?
I think reproducing is more meaningful and more important than all of society has put on us. That that having kids is, a burden or wrong, and that's ridiculous. That you're supposed to
Sure.
find a mate. Your son is supposed to find someone, and he's supposed to get it on, and he's supposed to have kids. That's what he's supposed to do. And boomer fathers failed millennials. And I think it's great that you at least kind of have an inkling, or you've had some awareness to, like, at least maybe point your son in the right direction and not belittle him or lecture him about what he should and shouldn't do when it comes to women.
Right. Yeah. I mean, another thing I think that is a good point is having the children young is that I waited until I was not waited, but out of necessity, financially and some things I just won't, get into. But, to where we got to the point where we were able to afford it and didn't have so much debt and things like that. We're in our 30s and trying to have a second child, especially if your wife is that age, gets into her mid or 30s or so, you might not be able to have that second child. So that's another thing, that's bad about waiting too long. It's just, if you want a second child, that you might not be able to have them.
Yeah, millennials were deprived procreation. My grandmother had 11 children. That was normal.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends' grandparents had at least 6, 7 kids, and now you got guys that never had kissed a girl. And you don't want that for your son, I assume.
No, I wouldn't. I sure wouldn't. I think there's a lot more from what I understand, people that are, wanting to be gay that are really maybe aren't, but try to force themselves into that role, both boys and girls, or that are kind of with gender fluid or non-binary. So I don't know what type of impact that's. Yeah,
we got a comment, and this is a banger. Remember, Weimar America offers no incentive for whites to reproduce. All benefits go to the mudslide. I mean, that's the problem we face. This is an anti-white society. This is a society, a modern society wants to wipe out the white race. And if I talk about it, I'm an evildoer. I mean, that's a great comment. Good comment, Bucko.
Agreed.
So
yes.
Yeah, I think it's great that you've been listening to people like Steve Hoka and Hell by the Dashboard Light or my YouTube channel, and just to have a little bit of a insight or grasp on what it is you want for your what it is you want for your son. Because
right, and because my dad never told these, shared those red pill truths about women with me, that not maybe very subtly here and there, but nothing poignant. And he's even come to a lot of realizations himself about women, based upon watching his mother and grandmother and friends of his mother's, and how they act, and women's nature. And of course, I don't try to talk it down. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yeah, that you're making that observation, and that's pretty keen, son. I think you're right on the money, picking up on some patterns. Where a more politically correct father would be like, no, son, it's completely wrong, and that's not the politically correct way to view women. And you know what I'm saying?
Well, just the whole, kick your son out at 18, figure it out. Like, how about you help your son, like, navigate through this world? And I don't think that parents did that for millennials.
No, they didn't. I mean, I'm more Gen X, like late Gen X, but my parents were boomers, and it was pretty much you're on your own. They didn't help me in any way, shape, or form, really, in my more later formative years. Of course, I got the basic, care and food and shelter and all that. But as far as guidance and understanding and really helping you and setting you up to be successful in the world, no, it was like that would have been a mortal sin. We were more lower middle class type of family, and my parents came from the same. And I guess that is kind of a legacy, that it's like, you stand on your own 2 feet, you pull yourself up by the bootstraps. But that often serves, I think, to children's detriment, especially when you're first trying to start out and you're trying to gain your bearings. What do you think?
I think that men don't have as infinite chances at life, especially with women, and that they should take what they get after it if they can, when they can, like, because it's not always going to be there.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, trying to date when you're over, I would say even over the age of 25 is pretty brutal.
I
It's,
agree. I agree.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
you see it in the
a
news.
drought.
You see it in the news. All these young white women are sleeping with 15-year-olds and teachers and whatnot. It's crazy.
Absolutely, yeah, and I've heard it. You've heard this said before too. You got these people online talking about men and self improvement, and they're off having affairs with men that are uneducated with tattoos on their face and have committed felonies just out of prison, and you're worried about self improvement. Think of it's like, yeah, that's absolutely dead on. But I mean, the dating market was, just like Hoka, and it says like it was bad even when I was young. Out of high school, it was terrible. I think it was more of a winner takes all type of market even back then with the top tier men. But now it's even worse with the online dating, which I don't know if that's starting to self implode or not. But yeah, I think that the young men today, unless you have a family that has like a niche in like some high society, or maybe in the right church, one of the more powerful, well-to-do families. I think that's where the young people are really getting married organically and meeting their spouses today. But outside of that, I think most young men are going to have a very, very tough time, especially when with what I mentioned about a lot of the girls are gender fluid and things like that really masculinize them, and of course take them off the market as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you got so many factors working against you. I mean, half of America's overweight. There's a lot of things happening or going on right now where women don't prioritize men at all. They're like 10th or 15th on the list. Half of America's overweight. Most of, not all, women are on birth control. So I just I think it's a good thing that you've been trying to figure it out and find spaces like a Steve Hoka live stream. And I think it's going to benefit your son a lot. And I'm glad that you found these spaces, because I think you're going to equip your son in a way that boomer parents didn't for the millennial children.
I try. I'm sure I've made plenty of mistakes, and I'm sure I'll, after the fact, one day realize all of them. But you can't be perfect. But all I can do is try.
Mr. Daggers, do you want to respond to anything that Bob has said recently or in the past few minutes? Go ahead.
Not really. Not much needs to be.
No, that's fine. Bob, I just want to say I really appreciate you calling in. You were a great caller today, and it was really good to talk with you. I got another
same.
line, and I'm about to end the stream anyway. I got to get going, but really, I appreciate you calling in, and I really hope for the best for your son.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been great talking to you all, and hope to talk to you sometime again.
Yeah, Bob.
Good night.
You feel free to call in anytime, Bucko.
Thank you, sir. I sure will. Take care.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, a caller that wasn't a fucking retard for a change.
Yeah, I know that happens. Hispanic Cell, you were live on the TW show. Go ahead.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Have you ever called in before?
No, this is the first time, but I've been watching.
Stats. Fucking hold the phone. Give us some stats.
Well, I mean, I don't know what that means. What do you mean by that?
Rough age. Are you
okay.
A sex haver?
No, I've been incel for 4 years. I mean, I'm 29.
Are you a manlet?
Yeah, I guess I am. I mean, I'm 5'8", so I don't know if that's a manlet.
Hispanic American?
Yeah. I mean, I'm half Texan, original Texan from my father's side.
You're half white, half.
No, I'm not. I'm not half white. It's just that my lineage from my father's side comes from the Texas Federation before it became America.
Excess Mail says you guys are lucky, and most of you guys get women, and you guys have it the easiest. Black and white people are getting fucked over.
I have to disagree.
Hispanics got a family and a culture that tries to protect their young boys and pair them up. So what do you have to say? Why are you calling in? Go ahead.
Well, I might have. This is the reason why I called in, because it seems like you guys think it's only a white man problem. I think we live in a very gynocentric society that is just affecting everybody equally. I've seen so many Hispanics just like me that are incels. I mean, 3 of my friends, they haven't been with a woman in years. They're getting rejected by every Floyd. So this is a lie. This problem is happening with every Western man.
Did
It's
you
just
say
not
your age, rough age? Well, you don't have to
20,
give me your
29. I'm 29.
29. You were born in America. You
Yeah.
speak English, and you're saying Mexicans have it worse as just as bad as everybody else.
Yeah, I truly believe this. I truly believe this is what I see. This is what I see. This is my experience. When I was younger, I was able to be successful with women, but that was during high school and like maybe like 2 more years after high school. And after that, just L after L. It's just unable to get a partner. So that's that.
Colleagues, you think a lot of your colleagues, your cohort is experiencing much of the same?
Oh yeah. Most
Wait a
of my
minute. I seen a Mexican at a McDonald's. He had a couple of kids. He's having lunch break at the dining table.
That you say that, but I've seen a couple of white dudes with white women with families where I'm at right here. So we can both say this, but at a personal level, my friends are incel. The taking L's after L's. I mean, I'm talking about guys that I have a friend that's like 6'1", Hispanic, straight incel. I think this is an issue that has to do with culture, with Western culture. I think women are being taught to be alone. This is the thing, right?
You do not believe that Hispanic or Mexican type folks, they don't have it a little easier than black and white?
Maybe a little easier because of family, but it's becoming that way. It's becoming the same as whites and blacks. I mean, that's what I see. Out of everybody I know, only a handful of my friends from high school ended up married with kids. Only a handful. Everybody else is single. So this is a big issue that's affecting everybody. I think it's a woman problem. I've been listening to Hell by the Dashboard too. He talks as if it's over for white goy sales, but I say that it's over for all males in the West. We have an excess male problem. You got to understand that there's more colored men than colored women. So a lot of these men are just straight up incel. And what this whole idea that white women are gonna date men of color, I don't know. I really don't believe that either. I truly don't believe that. I think there's a specific type of colored man that white women go for. It's not every colored man that white women go for. So
how is it that you found Hell by the Dashboard Lights YouTube channel? Like, what happened, Bucko?
So I was going through like everybody else. At first I was a MGTOW. I was coping. Oh yeah, I'm just going my own way, and suddenly I encountered Somatic's channel years ago. Didn't pay too much mind to it. I thought incels were a joke, back then. But then I started listening to Dashboard because he was in one of the live streams, and I thought he was funny as fuck. I was cracking up, and then I started going more deep into it. And man, this guy, he's one hell of a character. He's a smart guy, I think. And I don't care the fact that he might be prejudiced towards other people. I think that's fine. I mean, it's understandable why. I mean, the white race has accomplished so much that I would be a racist too if I was a white male. But yeah, I mean that's how I found out about him, and I still listen to him. I'm locked in, but yeah, that's what it is, And here, oh yeah, especially if you're in the Northeast.
Well, wait, do you think it's the same for your colleagues and stuff? Like, do they kind of agree with your sentiment?
Hell yeah, they know. I taught them black pill. I introduced them to this philosophy. I told them, hey, listen, guys, let's gather up a little bit. You know, we was at a bar the other day, and we was talking at a Dave and Buster's, and we were having a beer, and I was talking to them, hey, what's wrong with women? Why are we taking L's after L's? We go to clubs, we go to parks, we go to beaches, and it seems like these women don't even like, they won't even. This is how bad it is for Hispanic cells. We went to the bar, and I invited this Floyd to a drink to try to have a conversation with her. She rejected the drink. And I'm talking about, this is another Spanish woman. This is not even a Iranian woman, a white woman, an Asian woman. This is another fellow Spanish woman. And so that right there should tell you, man, yeah, this is an issue that a lot of people are having, you know, and it's a reality
They
that we're
agree
living.
with you? Your
Yeah.
friend group?
Yeah, one of them kind of disagrees. He thinks that he's a little kind of like rejecting that, you know, because he's a one of them is a leftist, so he kind of rejected the idea that we live in a gynocentric society, feminism's bad, and you know, women are being taught to just be alone. You know, it's just men ain't shit. You know, you should go for the highest score if you're gonna date a male. So yeah, that's you know, this has been spread. You know, I have a friend that was an incel. He's Brazilian, by the way, but he's a white Brazilian. You see him, he's a white guy. Nobody really thinks that he's a colored. Um, and it took him. He was an incel his whole life, even through high school. He couldn't get girls in high school, and it took him years. And I'm talking about, he had to travel all over the country. Finally, in PA, he ended up uh you know, taking whatever he could get. He ended up marrying some, you know, I don't want to sound bad or anything, but some hit girl, you know, from the woods. I'm talking about, she's from the sticks. I mean, this girl didn't even have a good phone, you know, like.
No, it's no worries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Low class whitey. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm talking about like Appalachia mountains, you know, like, and I'm like, and even when I looked at her, he introduced me to her, and I'm like, okay, now I see how you managed to get that, you know, now I understand how that happened. You know, she sees a Jersey dude, and that goes into the back of the woods, and she's gonna say, yeah, you know, chances are she's probably gonna say,
in
yeah.
your opinion, Hispanic cell, do you think that your fellow Hispanic friends, do they want white women? Do they want women of their own race? Do they just want a nice girl that treats them well? What do you think?
Spanish. Most of Spanish dudes are gonna end up with Spanish women. No one thinks good of white women anymore. I think white women were popular in the early 2000s, 2010. They were very popular because people thought of them as something unattainable, you know, something high class. Now the true colors have been seen by men of color. You know, they know white women are trash. Respectfully, they know white women are trash on average. I'm not saying all white women are bad, but typically we know that a good white woman is probably gonna end up with a white male, like a high status white male. So that's
Do you
that.
have resentment towards Hispanic women?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The way they treat us. I mean, the Spanish women see us as disposable, like disposable objects. You know, we're looked at as this guy. This guy is nothing. You know, they toss us to the side. You know, they won't even. I mean, these girls won't even have conversations with us at the club. And I'm talking about these are mid Spanish women. You know, these are not even pretty Spanish women. Like whenever I go out, and you know, I don't approach women anymore because of that reason. You know, it's just the rejection part. I don't even want to deal with that no more. I just work 6 days a week and mind my own business. You know, and hopefully I am thinking about going back to South America and getting me one there. So yeah, that's that, you know. And
Hispanic, so I really appreciate you calling in. Do you have one more comment or question, and then I'm going to kick you? But go ahead.
no, no, it's fine. You know, thank you for having me in the show.
no,
You
no.
know, I listen to your live streams a lot, so it's pretty cool to be here.
Yeah. Just if you have another question, go ahead and ask Mr. Daggers or myself, or if you want to say something before you go ahead.
Do you think this problem is going to get any better?
Absolutely not.
No.
All right.
No.
All right. Thanks. Thank you for having me. All right. I'll hop back in the chat.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Calling in. I appreciate it.
He was good. I didn't have you had him like under control yourself, but I was listening. It's good insight that things are pretty bleak in his demographic.
Yeah, guys, I just, I had a job a few years back, and this Asian fella, this Oriental, he was really he just really liked me. He's always friendly to me. We talk, talk shop. We talk, talk about whatever. And we'd bullshit once in a while. And he was divorced. And I never really talked to a Asian or, a slanty-eyed person. He's divorced and he's paying child support. And that was kind of odd for me. Like I was kind of taken aback. I'm like, really? Your wife left you and you have to pay child support? Like it is really affecting all races of man in the West. Like, I couldn't believe it. He seemed like a good guy, had a good job. He had a better job than me at the place I was working at. And he couldn't keep a wife. So the Asians and the Hispanics, I mean, looking bleak for men. And I think it's just the fact of the matter. Like, this is just how it is. Like, men are disposable, and we have nowhere to really, there's no answers. It's very scary for a lot of men out there when it comes to, pairing up. And when I say pairing up, it's like, well, that's what happened for the last 100 years. Like you got a girl, you married, you had kids, you might have made it work, you might have got divorced, whatever. And it's just men just can't even get a taste. They don't even bother. I mean, Daggers doesn't bother. This Hispanic guy who calls in, he don't bother with women. He goes to work 6 days a week. And it's like, what are we doing? Daggers, what are we doing, man?
I'm writing a book because I anticipate I'm going to randomly die at some point. That's what I'm doing.
King Froglet, I will answer that question. I have never taken a woman's virginity, and I know men that have, that were like short and fat. So like this whole Chad theory is ridiculous. I've known guys that they've been, they've got it in, and it also didn't work out. So it's like you can bang a virgin and then, it didn't matter. Like, I'm actually kind of sad, like, to never get the virgin girl. Like, how many men get the virgin girl? What's the percentage on that? It must be lower than fuck. But whoever,
how many of the virgins are lying? Because Catholic girls get ran through before they graduate.
Well, you get the bloody dick. I mean, I'm not trying to sound too gross. And you get the bloody dick. I mean, you ever fucked a girl with and get a bloody dick and she's not on her period? That's a fucking virgin. I didn't get to do that. My brother did, I think, but not me. Anyway, I think we're about wrapped up, Daggers. Sorry for keeping you with the callers. I didn't want to. You could have left earlier, but I figure we'll wrap up here. I got a list of names to rattle off, and then we'll get out of here. Okay.
All right.
The first name, Mr. Daggers, is going to be the actor James Woods and his Boomer Conservatard Twitter account. Do you have a take on James Woods?
He's a great actor. Loved him in Videodrome and Hercules. His takes on social media are your standard. Like, it was kind of novel back then in like 2016, but he's just kind of like I haven't looked at him recently, but I get the impression he's probably just like a kosher racist. He doesn't hate substantially or informatively. Yeah, he probably won't rattle off about Jews. He'll just rant about black people and Muslims at worst, and trannies, I guess.
Yeah, not a bad take. I actually think he was a good actor, but he ain't gonna see. The thing is these guys that have status, they have being a celebrity, being wealthy, rich, millionaire. They're not gonna say or do anything, and that's my problem with like this whole like get your money up. Like the more money you have, the more like enslaved you are. Like that's kind of a thing, I think. You have a response to that, Daggers?
Oh, first, people are quoting James Woods in Family Guy. Yeah, I did love him in Family Guy. He was hilarious. But yeah, no, the wealthier you are, the more ingrained you are in society. Your wealth is tied up in assets. You know, the Jews can just take it all away if you start mouthing off. They'll just ruin your life. A lot of rich people are retarded normies that probably stuck their dick in a kid, and you know, Goldberg has it on tape or whatever. He probably did it at their brothel in French Polynesia.
So you think that all actors, even like a Mel Gibson or a James Woods or whoever, let's do the old guy, the old Western guy. What was his name? The guy
Clint
John
Eastwood.
Wayne. John Wayne.
Or John-
Like these guys, they got the bag, but they can't do anything, right?
I feel like part of it is that they are deliberately threatened. If you're a Hollywood actor, you are face to face with Jewish power. It's undeniable. The Jews run things, and you talk back against them, your career's over. And they're going to call their friends, they're going to call their lawyer, family members, and hedge funds, and then you're done. But a lot of rich people are just stupid. Like they just genuinely don't care because they're comfy. They feel like they've done all they need to do in life, and the only problem is that they want to distinguish themselves from the rest of the mass. They'll say something edgy, which is to talk about how white men are racist or talk about how black people are violent, and that's all they'll do. It's like they don't all have to be blackmailed with videos or their assets being taken. They can just be stupid and not care.
All right, the next name, and I don't expect you to know all these names, Mr. Daggers. Oh yeah, Brando. Good comment. Brando was an example. He called it out. He did call out Jewish power and Jews run Hollywood, and his son ended up in prison. After he died, you had journalists writing about how he was a secret homosexual. Brando, I guess, was a homosexual, according to Jewish journalists, in case you were wondering. I mean, this is fucking slander, man. One of the greatest actors. Well, I guess he was just a homo. That's what Jew journalists will tell you.
Yeah, they'll say anything.
Power.
Yeah.
Next name, I don't expect you to know these names, Daggers. We can just kind of fly through them. If you got a long answer, fine. If you don't, fine. The next name is going to be the YouTube guy, tied to Dave Ramsey, the Dr. John Deloney show. Do you have an opinion of the Dr. John Deloney show?
I know Dave Ramsey. I don't know who John Baloney is or whatever you said.
Deloney.
No, I don't know who that is.
No. John Deloney does a call-in show where people have they have secrets or they have problems in their marriage, and he calls, they call in to ask him for advice. Just another name. The next name, Mr. Daggers, is going to be Charlie Kirk. And I don't want you to be Mr. Daggers, I want you to be charitable, but I also want you to be critical. Can we do that?
He's just yet another person who is so base for talking about trannies, yet he spent his whole life fighting for Israel and we're supposed to be sad that he's gone. He was
Is that
just
a little,
another.
hey, Mr. Daggers, is that a little cruel or ghoulish? Can we? I mean,
We
you
live
wanna-
in such an.
do you want to
I've-
laugh? Do you want to laugh at Charlie Kirk? Is that what you want? You think it's funny? No, I'm
I
I'm
mean-
just asking, man. I don't care. I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to defend Charlie Kirk. I just.
Yeah, no, I get it. No,
How would you
just
like it? You want to talk about your ideas. You want to push your agenda, and you get your head blown off.
well, did I spend my whole life fighting for Israel, pretending I'm, rebellious and right wing, so that I can further liberalism and the plundering of the masses? Like, if I do that, laugh at me, please. I mean, either way, I'm dead. So who cares? I don't care. I'm dead.
Mr. Daggers, the next name is going to be Eric Stryker. What do you think about Eric Stryker?
He seems kind of like a midwit, but he actually calls out the bad people in the world.
I'm kind of glad you said that, Mr. Daggers. I mean, I like Eric Stryker, but I mean, you whiffed against Destiny.
Yeah, that's what comes to mind when I think of him.
I could have took Destiny down. I could have done it. He couldn't do it. It's pretty sad, bro. Like you get into a debate with Destiny and you couldn't figure it out. Like brutal. Fuck, man. You really.
Yeah.
He
lost hard. He's like
hard.
He lost in a debate against Destiny about how jazz isn't real music. Like he was just, but that just means he's a midwit. I'm not gonna look to him for guidance. I don't think he's enlightened. But I acknowledge that, he's more or less on the right side. He's, he's fighting kind of the right people. So whatever. It's all right. I won't fight him if I had to, theoretically.
All right, the next name, Mr. Daggers. Kevin Sorbo, the Hercules television actor who is quote unquote ostracized from Hollywood and has a boomer conservatard Twitter account. Do you have an opinion of Kevin Sorbo?
Don't know who that is.
All right. Thank you for that. I got one more name for you. The black man on Twitter and on social media who's kind of, I don't know, he's been a agitator and he's been revered by some and hated by others. Charleston White.
Is that that sounds like an old celebrity that sings jazz. Is that a new guy?
No, he's just a social media crackhead homie who has a lot. He lives in a big house. Well, no, I think he got shot recently. I don't know.
Damn.
Charleston White, you don't have an opinion.
I don't know who he is, but I respect him for getting shot, I guess. If you're black and you take a bullet, that's going to elevate you in the black hierarchy a little bit.
All right. Mr. Daggers, before we go, I have one more thing to ask you, but I want to just tell you, I really appreciate you coming on the Thomas White Show tonight. And I'm going to put your channel, your YouTube channel, in the description after this stream's over. This is the last question, and we are out of here. In fact, wait. Should we play one little outro song? And you can leave before the song's over. You want to pick a song?
Oh, man. I got to be careful because I'm trying to save.
Forget the song. Last question, and then we're out of here, okay?
All right.
Bruce Willis's best movie.
Oh, man. That's such a slop actor. That's going to be hard to pick. I'm going to have to look. I'm going to look this up. Bruce Willis movies because I don't remember. His movies are very unmemorable. They're just, Die Hard. I guess Die Hard 1. I've seen that. That's yeah, Die Hard, sure.
I can't believe no one in the chat has got the answer right. That's wild to me. I mean, you can't even. You guys are fucking disgraceful. So Bruce Willis's best movie was Boy Scout, and it's not even close. Figure it out, guys. Like, you probably overlooked Boy Scout. Go watch Boy Scout. You might like it. It's Boomer Slop, but it's his best movie. Mr. Daggers, before we leave, I just want to tell you, man, like, I really appreciate you coming on. I actually wanted to talk with you about a few other things. We didn't get there. We didn't get a chance to do that. But I hope you'll appear again. And I really had a good time talking with you today. I hope I wasn't too mean or
No,
sensitive or
dude,
personal.
I've been, like I said, I'm in like a plush armchair. I'm just chill. I don't give a shit about anything.
All right, man. Well, do you have a final thought, a final cliche statement, and let's get out of here?
No, I'll just say pleasure's all mine. You're lifting me up to your level. You got the bigger numbers. You're giving me the call out, so
Mr.
I appreciate
Daggers.
that
Mr.
you
Daggers.
value me. I give you something of value.
Mr. Daggers, it's about quality, not quantity. Just remember that, okay, Bucko?
Yeah, especially since when we get enough subscribers, YouTube bans us.
Yeah, The Last Boy Scout. Maybe I had the name wrong. I haven't seen the movie in forever. Puff Wagon, The Last Boy Scout. Go watch it. It's Bruce Willis's best movie. All the rest suck. Mr. Daggers, I thank you for appearing, and this is it. We're done. You guys have a good night. I might do a stream in like a week or 2 or 3. I don't even know. I don't care. Go subscribe to Mr. Daggers' channel. And that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote.